Chapter 1287. Chapter 1287. Chapter 1287. Play dead. Don't worry. The blood demon Venerable won't be able to do anything. The sapling replied. Think of a way to lure the stone beasts away as soon as possible. I can sense that the world tree branch in the 3 stone caves is very useful to me. If I refine it, I'll possess the strength of a first-grade Earth Supreme. The strongest stone beast is in the depths of the cave. I have to find a way to lure it out. The corner of Blood Demon Venerable's eyes unconsciously twitched as he said. Otherwise, even if Jean-Ba can lure away the 2 stone beasts at the entrance, we still won't be able to enter the 3 stone cave. This is indeed troublesome. Ningyu also knew the seriousness of the problem. Jean-Ba was injured, so it was unrealistic for him to lure out the stone beast in the cave. The Dark Emperor's injuries had not recovered yet, so it was not appropriate for him to go. Finally, Ningyu's gaze fell on the Blood Demon Venerable. Although the Blood Demon Venerable had yet to recover to his pinnacle state, his fighting strength had reached the pinnacle 9th grade sovereign realm. Seeing that Ningyu was looking at him, the Blood Demon Venerable shifted his gaze left and right. Clearly, he didn't want to face the stone beast. I'll go with you to lure out the stone beasts in Cave 3. Jean-Ba, stay here and wait for an opportunity. Ningyu's tone was unquestionable. This time, we can only succeed. Failure is not an option. All right. The Blood Demon Venerable's eyes flickered, as if he was having an intense mental struggle. Very soon, the Blood Demon Venerable gritted his teeth and said, Let's go. Whoosh. With that, the Blood Demon Venerable stomped his feet on the ground and dashed forward. Whoosh. Whoosh. Seeing the Blood Demon Venerable rushing out, Ningyu did not dare to delay and followed closely behind him. As for Jean-Ba, he began to move his body, looking for a suitable position. Am I the only one who can't help? Seeing that everyone was doing their jobs, the Dark Emperor rolled his eyes. His strength was the weakest, so he could help, but he would only be a hindrance. Kill. Ningyu held the red demon's sword and slashed out. Immediately, the sky changed color as a sword light as thick as a person's waist blasted towards the stone beast on the left side of the cave. Blood Demon Palm. Blood Demon Venerable waved his hands again and again. In a split second, several palm prints flew out and bombarded the stone beast on the right side of the cave entrance. Bang, bang, bang. The expressions of Ningyu and the Blood Demon Venerable changed at the same time. Their powerful attacks couldn't even break through the stone beast's defense. One had to know that their battle prowess was exceptionally terrifying. If even they couldn't break through the stone beast's defense, one could only imagine how terrifying its defense was. Roar! Roar! The attacks of Ningyu and the Blood Demon Venerable had obviously alarmed the 2 huge stone beasts. They opened their eyes at the same time, opened their mouths wide, and spat out several stones. Ka-ka-ka! Ningyu hurriedly brandished the red demon sword and sliced the rock that the stone beast had spat out into 2. Blood Demon Venerable's left and right hands started working, smashing the rocks into pieces. Go! Ningyu knew that it wasn't a long-term solution if this continued. Now that things had come to this, they could only take the risk and attack the depths of the 3-stone cave to force the powerful stone beasts out. This was the only way they could hope to obtain the World Tree Branch in the 3-stone cave. Where do you think you're going? Just then, something strange happened. Blood Demon Venerable gave up on the stone beasts, clenched his right hand into a fist, and punched at Ningyu. There's something wrong with you. Ningyu instantly stopped, and the red demon sword in his hand stabbed out. Poof! At this moment, the red demon sword was controlled by the sapling. Ningyu was just a puppet that wielded the red demon sword. Impossible, I hid myself so well. How did you discover me? Looking at the red flying sword at his heart, Blood Demon Venerable roared. One step, just one step, and I can recover to my peak state. I might even be able to improve further. It's all because of you. I'll tear you apart. The Blood Demon Venerable was furious to the extreme. I hate you. If I had known, I would have waited for you to enter the depths of the 3-stone cave before attacking. That way, I could have killed you. Blood Demon Venerable was so angry that his nose was crooked. There was indeed an Earth's supreme stone beast in the depths of the three-stone cave, and he had sealed it. As long as he could use a secret technique to refine the stone beast, he would be able to recover to his peak state very quickly. Now it was all for naught. I can't accept this. Blood Demon Venerable's heart had been pierced, but he was still not dead. He continued to roar. I knew you would have such evil thoughts, so I've been guarding against you. Ningyu withdrew the red demon sword and said calmly, I wanted to let you go, but you didn't know how to cherish it. Don't blame me for that. Poof! Blood Demon Venerable spat out a mouthful of blood when he heard Ning use sarcastic words, and his entire body began to wither. In the short span of a minute, Blood Demon Venerable had turned into a puddle of pus, no longer existing. Roar! At the same time, a deafening roar came from the depths of the cave. Whoosh! Following the deafening roar, the entire three-stone mountain instantly became noisy. Many beasts left their nests and rushed down the mountain. 10,000 beasts galloped. At this moment, the three-stone mountain was bustling with activity, as if tens of thousands of beasts were galloping. Retreat! Before Ning you could appreciate the grand occasion, the nervous words of the sapling rang out in his mind. Swish! Ning Yu chose to believe in the sapling. Without saying a word, he took the red demon's sword and ran in the direction of the Dark Emperor. Bang! However, Ning Yu had only taken a few steps when he felt his body lighten and was sent flying. Uft! Ning Yu spat out a mouthful of blood when he crashed into the huge rock, and his heart sank to the bottom. A massive figure stood at the entrance of the three-stone cave. The cultivation of this massive figure had reached the terrifying first-grade Earth Supreme realm. Hide your aura, don't make a sound. Suddenly, a voice rang out in Ning Yu's ears. Zhanba! This voice was obviously Zhanba risking his life to tell Ning Yu. Zhanba's original intention was to lure the stone beast away, but the stone beast was extremely enraged. Even Zhanba did not have much confidence. Hearing Zhanba's words, Ning Yu immediately hid his aura and lay inside like a dead man. Thump! The last stone beast to come out was the Stone Beast King. The other two half-step Earth Supreme stone beasts knelt in front of the Stone Beast King with terrified expressions. I sensed that guy's aura just now. Why did it disappear? The Stone Beast King looked around and said in a deep voice, Go and find him. No matter what, you have to find him. Stone King, the person who set you up is right under your feet. One of the stone beasts said. The Stone King lifted his right foot and looked over. Ha ha, good, I finally got rid of this guy. Looking at the Blood Demon Lord, who had been squashed into a meat patty, the Stone King laughed. You lied to me and trapped me in the three-stone cave. I didn't expect to come out again. Come here. Suddenly, a cold light shot out from the Stone King's eyes and shot straight at Ning Yu. Chapter 1288. Chapter 1288. The King of Stone Ning Yu's heart skipped a beat when he heard the King of Stone's voice. Ning Yu could clearly feel a terrifying aura locking onto him. If he dared to activate his Yuan Qi, he would definitely be killed on the spot. How disloyal. Ning Yu wanted to contact the sapling, but found that it had already fallen silent. No matter how hard he tried, there was no response. Dear King of Stone, I mean no harm. It's all because of the Blood Demon Venerable. I was forced to disturb you by him. Ning Yu immediately understood the situation. He quickly got up from the ground and said, I'm only a late-stage, 5th-grade human supreme, but the Blood Demon Venerable has the fighting strength of a peak-stage, 9th-grade human supreme. There's nothing I can do if he's forcing me. Huh? How dare you lie in front of me? The King of Stone's face turned cold. I think you're tired of living. I'm telling the truth. The Blood Demon Venerable said that as long as I enter the three-stone caves with him, he will give me half of the World Tree branch inside. In order to calm the King of Stone, Ning Yu had to use the World Tree to stop the King of Stone. What did you say? The World Tree. As expected, Ning Yu's words worked. The King of Stone picked up Ning Yu and said, Follow me to the three-stone caves. Whoosh! Carrying Ning Yu, the King of Stone turned around and left in a hurry. You two stay here. Without my permission, don't let anyone or any demonic beasts in. The King of Stone might be big, but he was very meticulous. He didn't even tell his two subordinates about the World Tree. The first time he tried to get the World Tree branch from the Blood Demon Venerable, he was tricked by the Blood Demon Venerable. The Blood Demon Venerable sealed the World Tree branch in the 3 stone caves right next to him. He could only stare at the World Tree with an itch in his heart. Now that the Blood Demon Venerable was killed, he felt that his chance had come. He wanted to enter the 3 stone caves again and take the World Tree out. What should we do? Outside the 3 stone cave, the Dark Emperor and Jean Ba were flustered. They wanted to save Ningyu, but they lacked the strength to do so. Putting aside the powerful Stone King that had kidnapped Ningyu, the Dark Emperor and the others had no way of dealing with the 2 stone beasts at the entrance of the 3 stone caves. Let's wait for an opportunity to strike, Jean Ba said calmly. Now that the 2 stone beasts were frightened, they would definitely be highly focused. At this time, it would be very difficult to use a secret technique to lure them away. Jean Ba decided to wait. As long as the 2 stone beasts were distracted, he would immediately attack. Sigh, that's the only way. With a light sigh, the Dark Emperor muttered, Ningyu should not be in danger for the time being. I need to raise my strength as soon as possible. Jean Ba, protect me. I'm going to break through to 5th grade Human Supreme. The Dark Emperor seemed to have made up his mind as he said in a deep voice, What? Are you kidding me? Hearing the Dark Emperor's words, Jean Ba was shocked. You are only an early 4th grade Human Supreme. How can you break through to 5th grade Human Supreme in such a short time? Furthermore, even if you manage to reach the 5th grade Sovereign Realm, you still won't be able to save Ningyu. Since the Stone King did not kill Ningyu immediately, it means that Ningyu is not in danger for the time being. All we need to do is wait. I'll find a way to contact Ningyu. Biting his lips, the Dark Emperor forced out a drop of blood essence and used a secret technique to contact Ningyu. Buzz. At the same time, in the 3 stone caves, Ningyu's expression changed slightly. I'm fine. Don't act recklessly. Ningyu cautiously told the Dark Emperor not to act recklessly. What are you doing? However, Ningyu's subtle movement did not escape the Stone King's eyes. Don't play any tricks. In the 3 stone caves, I am the absolute ruler. The Stone King said proudly. Then why did you fall for the Blood Demon Venerable's trap? Ningyu rolled his eyes and mumbled, Oomph. The Blood Demon Venerable is cunning. He used the World Tree as bait. Otherwise, how could I have fallen for it? You don't know how important the World Tree is to us stone beasts. I know, Ningyu said. Stone beasts are born with huge bodies and can't shrink. If you can refine the branches of the World Tree, not only will your strength have a qualitative improvement, but you can also transform into a human form. There are 3 ways for stone beasts to take human form. First, reach the Sky Supreme level. Second, consume the transformation fruit. Third, swallow the World Tree. Oh, you know a lot. The Stone King raised his eyebrows. I don't know a lot. I even know how to take out the seal branch. Ningyu continued. What? You can break the seal. The Stone King released his aura and said coldly, If you can help me break the seal, I will give you a small piece. Thank you, Stone Monarch. Ningyu was overjoyed and immediately said with gratitude. Although he said that, Ningyu didn't think so. Stone beasts were violent by nature. Ningyu knew why the Stone King didn't kill him. If he was right, the Stone King wanted to use him as an experiment to see how to break the seal left by the Blood Demon Venerable. Since the Stone King wanted the branch, Ningyu might as well pretend to be courteous. Let's go. The branch is sealed in the deepest part of the 3 stone caves. The Stone King grabbed Ningyu's shoulder and dashed into the depths of cave. Both Ningyu and the King of the Stone Nation had their own plans. The King of the Stone Nation wanted to use Ningyu to break the seal and take the branch of the World Tree. Ningyu thought the same and took the branch at the critical moment. Let's go. Soon, Ningyu followed the Stone King to the deepest part of the 3 stone caves. Seeing the location where the tree branch of the world was sealed, Ningyu opened his mouth slightly and cursed. Lava. The place where the branch was surrounded by lava. It wasn't ordinary lava. It could even melt a royal rank flying sword. Help me break the seal, the Stone King said. Gulp. Ningyu swallowed. Stone King, I'm only a late-stage 5th grade human supreme. I'll be severely injured if I come in contact with the lava. I know this lava very well. The Stone King patted his chest. The lava will recede every hour. That's the best time for you to break the seal. I want to know how much time you can give me. Ningyu hesitated. 3 minutes. The Stone King said. I can't break the seal in 3 minutes. Ningyu said bluntly. I can only understand the structure of the seal in 3 minutes. I don't have time to break it. We have plenty of time. If the first time doesn't work, we can try the second time. If the second time doesn't work, we can try the third time. Chapter 1289. The Sealing Formation, all right. Ningyu nodded. As the saying went, one had to lower one's head. That was Ningyu's current state. The King of Stones was a first-grade Earth Supreme. He could kill Chun Fan with a wave of his hand. Ningyu had to be careful not to offend the King of Stones. Drip. Time was ticking away. There was still half an hour before the lava receded. During this half an hour, Ningyu sat cross-legged and began to circulate a spell to absorb the surrounding primordial chi to replenish his body. The temperature of the lava was extremely high. Ningyu didn't want to be roasted the first time he entered. According to Ningyu's observation, the temperature of the tree branch was still high even though the lava would recede. He had to enter at his peak state. Otherwise, he might die here. Sapling, how confident are you in breaking the seal? Ningyu asked the sapling. The formation that sealed the tree branch was set up by the blood demon supremacy years ago. Ningyu couldn't break it. I need to wait and see. I'm not sure. The sapling didn't give a definite answer. After all, the blood demon supremacy was extremely powerful at his peak. The fact that the formation he set up could even seal the stone beast was enough to show how powerful it was. I can't believe it. If it wasn't for the stone beast, Ningyu would have cursed out loud. The sapling was the main force in breaking the formation. If he wasn't confident, he was doomed to die here. Don't worry. The sapling knew what Ningyu was thinking. I was confident in breaking the formation, but the formation has changed after being eroded by the lava for years. I need to wait and see. All right, Ningyu was helpless. Now that things had come to this, he had no choice but to believe in the sapling. Whoosh! Half an hour passed in the blink of an eye. Just as the King of Stones said, the lava would recede every hour. The lava around the sealing formation began to recede in an orderly manner. Hurry up, you only have 3 minutes. The King of the Stone Nation kicked Ningyu's butt and said in a low voice, You must figure out the structure of the array this time, and try your best to break it next time. Damn it! Ningyu almost vomited blood after being kicked by the King of the Stone Nation. The Corpse King's body was so huge, his kick was full of strength. Although the King of the Stone Nation didn't use his full strength, he still managed to kick Ningyu far away, almost causing him to fall into the lava. Stop! At the critical moment, Ningyu hurriedly drew out the red demon sword and slashed out a beam of sword radiance. He borrowed the force of the sword to forcefully stop himself in midair. Ningyu's expression was ugly as he looked at the retreating lava in front of him. Ningyu really wanted to turn around and ask the King of the Stone Kingdom, Didn't you say 3 minutes? Why hasn't the lava completely receded after 30 seconds? Now that the lava had not completely receded, Ningyu didn't dare to take the risk. If he was contaminated by the lava, he would be done for. It will take a minute for the lava to completely recede, and it will take another minute for it to surge up. Ningyu calculated in his mind. He didn't know it before, but now that he did, he was shocked. At the very most, he only had 1 minute left. Even a master of array formations would have a hard time understanding the sealing array in 1 minute and trying to break it. Now's the time. Ningyu's eyes were fixed on the lava. When the lava receded, his figure flashed, and he quickly flew to the front of the sealing array. Tree sapling, familiarize yourself with the array. Ningyu pretended to observe the array, but in his mind, he sent a voice transmission to the tree sapling. The tree sapling was the main force in breaking the array, and Ningyu was just a distraction to distract the King of the Stone Nation. Whoosh! To make it look real, Ningyu split a few strands of soul power to probe around the sealing array. Ningyu's brows relaxed and furrowed, as if he had encountered a difficult problem. Time's up. While Ningyu was busy probing the sealing array, the king of the Stone Kingdom yelled, "Come out now, or the lava will cook you." Whoosh! Hearing the king of the Stone Kingdom's call, Ningyu flew back without hesitation. "How is it?" The king of the Stone Kingdom came to Ningyu and asked as soon as he landed. "It's not looking good. The sealing array has changed. I need more time." Shaking his head, Ningyu said, "After a minute of exploration, I've learned a little bit. I believe I can find a way to break the seal if I go in a few more times." "We have plenty of time," the king of the Stone Kingdom said. In fact, the king of the Stone Kingdom knew something about the sealing array. The king of the Stone Kingdom knew that something had changed in the sealing array. If Ningyu tried to hide it or couldn't tell that something had changed, the king of the Stone Kingdom would kill him without hesitation. Since Ningyu saw something and didn't hide it, it meant that Ningyu had some tricks up his sleeve. The king of the Stone Kingdom didn't dare to break the sealing array himself, so Ningyu was the best choice. Phew! Ningyu wiped the sweat off his forehead and let out a long breath. The king of the Stone Kingdom gave him so much pressure that he wanted to kneel down. If it weren't for his willpower, Ningyu would have knelt down on the spot and become the king of the Stone Kingdom's prisoner. "Sapling, what did you find?" After calming down, Ningyu began to communicate with the sapling carefully. The king of the Stone Kingdom was powerful. If he wasn't careful, he could expose the sapling. Once the sapling was exposed, the consequences would be unimaginable. That was why Ningyu was very careful. "I can break the sealing array, but I need someone to help me block the lava for a few minutes." The sapling did not answer Ningyu's question right away. Instead, it pondered for a moment and said, "Although the seal formation has mutated, I'm connected to the world tree branch inside. I can work with it from the inside and the outside to force an opening in the formation." What's the success rate? Ningyu didn't want to take the risk. He needed a 100% chance. "I'll do it next time. I have a 50% chance." The sapling said, "If I communicate with the branch of the world inside the sealing array, I'll have a 60% chance, or even a 100% chance." "Okay, wait for a few more hours. You can do it when you're 100% sure," Ningyu said. "No problem." After that, the sapling fell silent, as if it was thinking about what to do next. Whoosh! Another hour passed in the blink of an eye. Whoosh! This time, Ningyu was smarter. Before the king of the Stone Kingdom kicked him, he flew toward the sealing array. That's a fast runner. Seeing Ningyu's movement, the king of the Stone Kingdom rolled his eyes and murmured, "As long as you help me break the sealing array, I'll get the branch of the world as soon as possible." The king of the Stone Kingdom was very confident. In order to get the branch of the world inside the sealing array, he had put in a lot of effort and consumed a lot of energy. For the king of the Stone Kingdom, he could only succeed because he had succeeded. He had refined the branch of the world, turned into a human, and improved his cultivation. He had failed. Chapter 1290. Lava Beast, Sapling, watch carefully this time. Ningyu transmitted his voice to the sapling as he floated in the air. No problem. Compared to Ningyu, the sapling was more eager to break the seal and obtain the world branch inside. The sapling was born from the world branch. As long as it could devour the world branch inside the seal, the sapling's battle strength would reach the first-grade Earth Supreme level. At that time, Ningyu wouldn't have to be so afraid of the king of the Stone Nation. Let's go. A minute later, Ningyu's figure flashed and instantly arrived in front of the sealing array. The task of exploring the sealing formation was handed over to the sapling. As for Ningyu, he carefully approached the lava with his soul power. For some reason, a trace of uneasiness rose in Ningyu's heart this time and last time. The uneasiness grew stronger and stronger, to the point that Ningyu had to find out what was going on. Chi! As soon as Ningyu's soul power came into contact with the lava, it was swallowed up by the lava. Damn it! Ningyu's face darkened. He did not find out what was going on in the lava, but he lost a bit of his soul power. I don't believe it. Gritting his teeth, Ningyu began to contact the law of space, trying to get it to go with him. Buzz. However, no matter how hard Ningyu tried, the law of space would not leave the storage ring. It was as if there was something in the lava that the law of space was afraid of. Right at this moment, the retreating lava began to return and approached Ningyu. Ningyu's expression changed, and he flew back. With Ningyu's current strength, he would be dead if he faced the lava head-on. What did you find? Just like last time, the King of Stones came to Ningyu and said in a low voice, I have a 50% chance of breaking the seal, but I need you to help me block the lava. Ningyu communicated with the sapling for a while before saying, It's too difficult to break the formation in a minute. You have to buy me at least 5 minutes. In fact, the sapling was 90% sure that it could break the seal. All it needed was for the Stone King to resist the lava for 3 minutes. However, Ningyu was not stupid enough to tell the King of the Stone Nation everything. He had a backup plan in order to be safe. Otherwise, he wouldn't even know how he died. No problem. Next time, you can go and break the formation. Although Ningyu said he was only 50% sure, the King of the Stone Nation was still excited. The King of the Stone Nation only had a 10% chance of winning. Now that he had a 50% chance, he could take the risk. Moreover, even the King of the Stone Nation was afraid of the existence at the bottom of the lava. Drip, drip. In the blink of an eye, an hour had passed. When the lava completely retreated, Ningyu's figure burst out and arrived in front of the ceiling array formation. He waved his hands repeatedly, and suddenly several fist lights appeared, bombarding the ceiling formation. Under Ningyu's powerful attack, the seal shook a little. Ningyu used up the 1 minute. Seeing that the lava was about to return, Ningyu shouted, King of the Stone Nation, I'm at the critical moment of breaking the formation. You must block the lava for 5 minutes. No problem. The King of the Stone Nation opened its mouth, and several stones flew out, piling up around Ningyu. Whoosh! When the molten lava collided with the rocks were immediately blasted away. You really do have some skill. Looking at the stones around him, Ningyu said to the sapling, Break the formation as soon as possible. I'll distract the King of the Stone Nation so that he doesn't know you're breaking the formation. While speaking, Ningyu exerted his movement technique to the extreme, moving back and forth around the ceiling array formation. Inside the 3-stone cave, the King of the Stone Nation stared at Ningyu, fearing that Ningyu would play some tricks. With Ningyu distracting the King of the Stone Nation, the sapling turned into a shadow and began to hit the bottom of the seal. Boom! Every time the sapling hit the seal, the tree branch inside the formation would resonate. The sapling hit the seal from the outside, and the tree branch inside the formation from the inside. It's working. Because the formation was shaking, the King of the Stone Nation did not notice the sapling. The King of the Stone Nation was waiting. As soon as he noticed that the seal was broken, he would take action and take the tree branch. The stones that the King of the Stone Nation spat out were his most powerful technique, the scattered stones array. With so many stones, the array could shrink and expand, and it was extremely powerful. Crack! As the sapling continued to hit the seal, 3 minutes later, a small gap appeared in the seal. Whoosh! The tree branch of the world sprang out from the gap. Scattered stones array shrink. Seeing that the seal was broken, the King of the Stone Nation was overjoyed and immediately controlled the scattered stones array to shrink. However, the King of the Stone Nation had miscalculated this time. How could the sapling allow the Stone King to take away the branch of the world tree that it had spent so much effort to break open? Crack! Crack! In the next instant, the sapling extended a branch and wrapped the tree branch in front of it. The branch exerted force, and the tree branch merged into its body. What? The sudden change made the King of the Stone Nation's expression change. The King of the Stone Nation's expression changed. It was not anger, but ecstasy. The King of the Stone Nation was very sensitive to the tree branch of the world. Naturally, he could tell that the sapling was the tree branch of the world and that it was full of vitality. The tree branch inside the seal had almost lost all of its vitality. it was just a withered branch. The sapling in front of him not only had a strong vitality, but it could also stretch freely. Scattered stones array. The king of the stone nation's eyes widened. He kept pushing the scattered stones array. Oh no, I have to find a way to leave. Seeing that the space around them was getting smaller and smaller, Ning Yu's face darkened. He said, "Sapling, now that you've taken the tree branch, break the space and let's get out of here. I can't leave now. Give me an hour. As long as I completely merge with the tree branch, I'll be able to go anywhere in the world." The sapling said proudly. Damn, Ning Yu's nose was crooked with anger. You got all the benefits, and now I have to suffer? Ning Yu knew how terrifying the scattered stones array was. It could even block the lava, let alone him. As long as he was squeezed by the scattered stones array, he would be crushed into pieces. Whoosh! Right at this moment, the situation changed. A giant head emerged from the bottom of the lava. It opened its mouth and swallowed the scattered stones array. Giant lava beast, how dare you touch my man? Seeing that Ning Yu was swallowed by the giant lava beast, the king of the stone nation was enraged. If you know what's good for you, give him back now, or I'll destroy your foundation. The king of the stone nation was infuriated. How could he not be angry that his man had flown away? I'll give him back in an hour. A deep voice came from the giant lava beast's mouth. Then, the giant lava beast's giant head sank into the lava again. I'm so angry. The king of the stone nation was furious. He had worked so hard and was about to get the tree branch, but the giant lava beast had taken it away. Roar. Chapter 1291. Refinement. It's not that easy to refine an entire world tree sapling. The King of Stones calmed down quickly. The King of Stones knew very well how terrifying the world tree was. It would be very difficult for the lava beast to refine an entire world tree sapling. It might even die. I'll let you test the waters for me. The King of Stones' expression was extremely cold. This world tree is mine. No one can take it away from me. At the same time, in the lava beast's stomach, Ning Yu was still struggling. Fortunately, the loose stone array was powerful and did not shatter. Otherwise, with Ning Yu's current strength, he would have been crushed into pieces. The sapling is refining the world tree branch. I can only rely on myself. Ning Yu's eyes darted around, trying to think of a solution. Based on the lava beast's refining speed, the loose stone array would only last 10 minutes at most. After 10 minutes, it would completely shatter. Once the loose stone array broke, Ning Yu would have to face the lava beast and the lava head-on. Whoosh! Whoosh! However, Ning Yu's guess was obviously wrong. In just a minute, the loose stone array collapsed. Every piece of rock was burnt into powder by the scorching heat. The temperature inside the lava beast was even higher than the lava. Originally, the loose stone array could last 10 minutes in the lava, but now it could only last for a minute. Elixir Cauldron. At this critical moment, Ning Yu took out the elixir cauldron. Ning Yu leaped into the cauldron. The elixir cauldron was ranked 30th on the elixir cauldron heaven roll. It was made of a special material and should be able to block the lava beast for a while. Bang! 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 Inside the elixir cauldron, Ning Yu looked anxious. Things had gone beyond his expectations. Although the elixir cauldron was made of a special material, it could conduct heat. In other words, as the lava beast kept attacking, the temperature inside the elixir cauldron became higher and higher. Drip! Drip! Beads of sweat rolled down from Ning Yu's forehead. In just a few seconds, Ning Yu's clothes were drenched in sweat. Chi! Accidentally touching the inner wall of the nihility pill furnace, Ning Yu hurriedly withdrew his palm. The temperature of the incorporeal pill furnace was too high, so high that Ning Yu could barely hold on. Am I going to die here today? Ning Yu was unwilling. He had been reborn and was unwilling to die here. Since he couldn't stay in the nihility pill furnace, Ning Yu simply jumped out of the furnace, waved his hands, and began to attack the lava beast. Brat, don't waste your energy. With your lousy skills, don't even think about coming out of my stomach. The lava beast's powerful voice sounded in Ning Yu's ears. I haven't eaten a living person in a long time. You're the first in decades. After I refine you appetizer, I will refine that world tree. TSK, TSK. I didn't expect to find a world tree sapling after so many years of hiding here. I didn't stay here for so long in vain. The lava beast seemed to be savoring something. Soon it said coldly, "Don't struggle. I can give you a quick death. Oof. Even if I die, I will make you pay." With a cold snort, Ningyu threw out several punches and palm prints. However, when Ningyu's attack landed on the giant lava beast's body, it was like scratching an itch and did not cause any damage to it at all. I am the lava beast. In this 10,000 feet of lava, I am the absolute ruler. The lava beast opened its mouth and swallowed a large amount of lava, wanting to use the lava to refine Ningyu. Damn it! Ningyu stopped attacking and quickly dodged. Fortunately, Ningyu dodged quickly. Otherwise, he would have died if he was touched by the lava. Ha ha! Let's see how long you can dodge. The lava beast was not angry when Ningyu dodged the first mouthful of lava. Instead, it laughed and swallowed the second mouthful of lava. Swoosh! Ningyu dodged again. Swoosh! Swoosh! Next, the third, fourth, and even the 10th mouthful of lava were all dodged by Ningyu. However, as the lava beast continued to swallow the lava, Ningyu found that the space he could move in was getting smaller and smaller. In the end, there was only an extremely narrow area. At this moment, as long as the lava beast swallowed another mouthful of lava, Ningyu would have nowhere to hide. Swoosh! The lava beast did not disappoint Ningyu. It opened its mouth and swallowed a mouthful of lava. Mirage armor. At this critical moment, Ningyu took out the mirage armor, trying to resist the erosion of the lava. The mirage armor was a mid-tier emperor armor and had amazing defense. Chi-chi. The lava fell on Ningyu's body and came into contact with the mirage armor. Not bad. The mirage armor was the treasure of the Mirage Rat clan. It was not corroded by the lava. It actually has such a treasure armor that can expand and contract freely. Not bad, it's mine now. A soft voice could be heard. Then, an arm suddenly appeared and grabbed the mirage armor. Good chance. How could Ningyu waste such a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? He immediately took out the red demon sword and slashed at the lava beast's arm. Crack! A crisp sound could be heard. The lava beast's arm was cut off by the red demon sword and fell into the lava. Chi-chi. The arm was separated from the lava beast's body and instantly lost its protection. The temperature of the lava was very high. In an instant, the lava beast's arm was melted. After losing an arm, the lava beast was enraged. It roared, "Kid, how dare you cut off my arm? I will tear you apart." The lava beast was very angry. It did not expect to lose an arm because of its carelessness. Although this arm was not its main arm, losing it would reduce its combat power by at least 10%. Refine. Extremely hot flames suddenly appeared around Ningyu. These flames were special. They were a grade higher than lava and belonged to the lava beast's life flame. The lava beast was a fire attribute. The life flame was the lava beast's strongest trump card. Seeing a ball of flames coming toward him, Ningyu knew that the lava beast was going to go all out. I hope the mirage armor can block it. Ningyu frantically injected the Yuan Qi in his sea of consciousness into the mirage armor. He wanted to rely on the mirage armor to block the lava beast's life flame. Even if I don't have this armor, I will still refine you. The lava beast snorted coldly. In order to vent the hatred in its heart, it took out all of its life flame. It wanted to refine Ningyu and get rid of Ningyu. Crack! Under the pressure of the lava beast's life flame, the mirage armor made a cracking sound. It looked like it was about to shatter. Not good. The mirage armor is only a middle-grade emperor weapon. It will not be able to withstand the lava beast's life flame. Ningyu's expression changed. If the mirage armor was a middle-grade emperor weapon, or even a superior grade emperor weapon, Ningyu would not be worried. Chapter 1292. Chapter 1292. Chapter 1292. 1,000 fire die. The lava giant pushed its natal flame to the limit, wanting to refine Ningyu as soon as possible. The lava beast's target was the world tree sapling, not Ningyu. It did not want to waste too much time on Ningyu. As long as he could kill and refine Ningyu, he would not think too much about it. What should we do? Seeing that the phantom armor was about to shatter, Ningyu's eyes turned rapidly, and his hair fluttered in the wind. Pucci! At this moment, Ningyu felt a tightness in his chest and spat out a mouthful of blood. Rumble! The blood that Ningyu spat out was dark gold in color. A terrifying aura emanated from Ningyu's body. What? The sudden change not only shocked Ningyu, but also the giant lava beast. Ningyu was already on the verge of collapsing. Why did he suddenly erupt? Inside the lava beast, Ningyu understood his body's condition the best. Under the tremendous pressure, the bloodline of his divine battle body circulated rapidly. A drop of dark golden liquid appeared at his heart and flowed throughout his body. At this moment, Ningyu felt unprecedentedly comfortable. Is this the terrifying part of the war god physique? Slowly closing his eyes, Ningyu tried his best to feel the changes in his body. Last time at the horizontal canyon, in order to kill the corpse puppet, Ningyu had used 100% of his bloodline power. At that time, Ningyu's battle prowess rose from a 5th grade human supreme to a 9th grade human supreme, easily defeating the corpse puppet. What Ningyu felt now was similar to that time, but there were still some differences. Ningyu could feel that as the dark golden liquid circulated, the toughness of his body was increasing at a terrifying speed. At the same time, Ningyu's cultivation was also rising rapidly. Late rank 5, peak rank 5, peak rank 5. In just a few seconds, Ningyu's cultivation had skyrocketed to the peak of level 5. Moreover, it was still soaring. Bang! A muffled sound rang out. Ningyu suddenly opened his eyes. At this moment, Ningyu had advanced from the late rank 5 stage to the early rank 6 stage. It's the god of war body. The lava beast turned pale with fright. The war god body had always been known for its ability to challenge those of a higher cultivation level. It was not a problem for him to fight one against many. The war god's body could instantly kill any martial artist of the same rank. The war god physique won't work either. I'll refine you all the same. The lava giant beast madly urged its natal flame, wanting to completely refine Ningyu. Phantom armor, come back. Ningyu took a deep breath and made a bold decision. He retracted the phantom armor. Pucci! As soon as the phantom armor disappeared, Ningyu was bombarded by the lava giant beast's natal flame. Spitting out a large mouthful of blood, Ningyu's body was on the verge of collapsing. After being baptized by the dark golden blood, Ningyu's body was abnormally hard, appearing dark golden. At this time, normal lava had lost its effect on him. Only the lava giant beast's natal flame could pose a threat to him. Haha, again! With a maniacal laugh, Ningyu opened his chest and continued to withstand the impact of the lava giant beast's natal flame. The lava giant beast was furious. At first, its natal flame could still hurt Ningyu. However, as time went by, it realized that Ningyu's physique was getting stronger and stronger. Body refining. Ningyu was using its natal flame to temper his body. The god of war body was already strong enough, but he was still tempering his body. How much willpower did he need? Lava giant beast, is this all you've got? Curling his lips, Ningyu said, bring out all your natal flames. I want to see if you can refine me completely. Hearing Ningyu's sarcastic words, the lava giant beast's face darkened. Just as Ningyu had said, he did have 2 natal flames. The first one was subdued a long time ago. The second one, he had yet to subdue. Thousand Bone Flame. There were 2 reasons why the lava giant beast came to the 3-stone cave. The first was to obtain the world tree trunk. The second was to refine the 1,000 Bone Flame at the bottom of the lava. The 1,000 Bone Flame was ranked 29th on the Mystic Flame list. It was extremely powerful. It was rumored that the 1,000 Bone Flame could burn anything. The lava giant beast spent a long time to subdue the 1,000 Bone Flame. In other words, the lava giant beast could not control the 1,000 Bone Flame well. Sometimes it was obedient, and sometimes it was disobedient. Fight! The lava giant beast gritted its teeth and brought out the thousand-bone flame. What? It's the thousand-bone flame. Ningyu's face turned ugly, and he was shocked. The thousand-bone flame was ranked 29th on the mystic flame list. It was even more terrifying than the thousand-beast flame. Actually, Ningyu did not know that the lava giant beast had another natal flame. He was just bluffing the lava giant beast. Who would have thought that he would bluff the thousand-bone flame? Let me have a taste of the terror of the thousand-bone flame. Ningyu took a step forward and tried to resist the thousand-bone flame. The ignorant are fearless. Seeing that Ningyu wanted to resist the thousand-bone flame, the lava giant beast said coldly. No one knew the terror of the thousand-bone flame better than the lava giant beast. In order to subdue the thousand-bone flame, the lava giant beast had been tortured many times. Even someone as strong as him was tortured by the thousand-bone flame, let alone Ningyu. Even if Ningyu had the war god's body, it would not work. Pucci. As expected, the moment the thousand-bone flame wrapped around Ningyu, Ningyu spat out a large mouthful of blood. The thousand-bone flame is indeed not simple. Wiping the blood from the corner of his mouth, Ningyu continued to resist the thousand-bone flame. Puff, puff, puff. However, with the strength of Ningyu's current body, he obviously could not resist the corrosion of the thousand-bone flame. Unless he increased the strength of his body by another level, he would not be able to resist the thousand-bone flame. Phantom armor. Since he could not resist the corrosion of the thousand-bone flame, Ningyu simply took out the phantom armor and used it to temporarily block the thousand-bone flame while he stabilized his body. Swoosh! Suddenly, the wind and clouds changed. A flame darted out from the storage ring and met the thousand-bone flame. It's the thousand-beast flame. Ningyu's eyes widened, and his face was full of disbelief. The thousand-beast flame was ranked 30th on the mystic flame list. It was only one rank lower than the thousand-bone flame. At this moment, Ningyu finally understood. The thousand-beast flame and the thousand-bone flame were competing for a ranking on the mystic flame list. In his previous life, Ningyu faintly heard a rumor. It was said that the thousand-beast flame and the thousand-bone flame were born in the same place. In the beginning, there was only one flame, but in the end, they fought and split into two. As long as the thousand-beast flame and the thousand-bone flame could be combined, an extremely terrifying flame would be born. The flame that was born would be able to rank in the top 20 of the mystic flame list. Of course, this was only a rumor. Regardless of whether it was the thousand-beast flame or the thousand-bone flame, they rarely appeared on the mainland. Whoosh! Seeing the thousand-beast flame appear, the thousand-bone flame immediately gave up on Ningyu and turned to fight the thousand-beast flame. The two powerful flames collided left and right in the lava beast's body, causing it to sweat profusely and suffer unspeakably. Stop right now. Chapter 1293. Chapter 1293. Chapter 1293 Fusion. Awe. The pain in its body caused the lava beast to let out a hysterical roar. Voila! In order to alleviate the pain coming from its body, the giant lava beast moved left and right, stirring the lava up and down. What happened? The king of the Stone Nation's eyes were fixed on the lava. Seeing the changes in the lava, the Stone King immediately stood up and unleashed his perception, wanting to probe the bottom of the lava. Chi-Chi. However, the king of the Stone Nation had obviously forgotten how terrifying the lava was. As soon as his perception got close to the lava, it dissipated between heaven and earth and was completely melted by the lava. Hiss! The king of the Stone Nation gasped, and his face darkened. The Stone King thought that he could take advantage of the turbulence of the lava, but it turned out that he was overthinking and had lost a portion of his perception for nothing. I know, it must be that world tree sapling. Suddenly, the Stone King seemed to have thought of something and laughed wildly. After laughing maniacally, the Stone King calmed down and said, I have to think of a way. If nothing goes wrong, the giant lava beast will rush up from the bottom of the lava soon. I have to find a way to stop it. The giant lava beast possessed the battle prowess of a first-grade Earth Supreme, and its strength could not be underestimated. Without absolute confidence, the king of the Stone Nation would not take the risk. After pondering for a moment, the Stone King said fiercely, "We might as well go all the way and kill the giant lava beast with one blow." In the Stone King's eyes, his biggest threat was the lava beast. Once the giant lava beast was taken care of, the rest of the world tree sapling would fall into his hands. Success or failure depends on this. I cannot be careless. The king of the Stone Nation was very careful. He first set up a small formation around him and then paid close attention to the changes in the lava. It's very difficult for the myriad beast flame to fuse with the myriad bone flame. At the same time, at the bottom of the lava inside the lava beast, Ningyu frowned as he looked at the two flames that were charging at each other, trying to come up with a countermeasure. At this rate, he would be affected by the battle between the two flames sooner or later. Be it the 10,000 beast flame or the 10,000 bone flame, they were both extremely terrifying flames. The 10,000 beast flame was still manageable. After all, Ningyu had the 10,000 beast flame heart. He would not be burned by the 10,000 beast flame. However, the 10,000 bone flame was different. Its power was even stronger than the 10,000 beast flame. If the 10,000 bone flame targeted him, Ningyu might die in the lava beast body. I have to think of a way out. Ningyu decided to leave the lava beast body. He shouted, "Lava beast, open your mouth, I want out. Come out quickly." Originally, the giant lava beast had been tortured by the two flames, but when it heard Ningyu's words, its eyes lit up. "Go!" Ningyu didn't want to stay in the lava beast's body. He leaped up and flew towards the lava beast's throat at full speed. At the same time, Ningyu controlled the myriad beast's flame and left. Ningyu has an idea, and that is to fuse the myriad bestial flame with the myriad bone flame. Now that he had advanced to the initial 6th grade sovereign realm, and the war god's physique was close to perfection, his battle prowess had soared. If he could fuse the myriad bestial flame and the 10,000 bone flame, his strength would soar. At that time, even if he faced a peak 9th grade supreme martial artist, he wouldn't have to fear. Swoosh! Ningyu was the first to jump out of the lava beast body. As soon as he jumped out, Ningyu summoned the phantom armor and wrapped himself up. This was the bottom of the lava, and there was lava everywhere. Without the protection of the phantom armor, Ningyu definitely wouldn't be able to hold on for long. TSK. Even with the phantom armor, Ningyu still felt the pressure increase. Bean-sized beads of sweat rolled down his forehead. However, Ningyu couldn't be bothered to wipe the sweat off his forehead. He hurriedly shifted his gaze to the other side. There, the 10,000 bone flame and the 10,000 beast flame were fighting. Whoosh! Lava flew everywhere, and the lava in this area was constantly being devoured by the two flames. I heard that the 10,000 bone flame is your natal flame. Ningyu moved away from the lava beast and said, "Where did you get the 10,000 bone flame?" The 10,000 bone flame was born at the bottom of this lava. I obtained it decades ago, but after decades of refinement, I still haven't completely controlled it. The lava beast seemed to know how terrifying Ningyu was, so it didn't dare to act rashly for the time being. He stared at the two flames, then shifted his gaze to Ningyu and said, "If I'm not wrong, that light green flame should be your natal flame." "You're right. The 10,000 beast flame is ranked 30th on the mystic flame list. It's not my natal flame." Nodding, Ningyu said, "I can control the 10,000 beast flame at will." Hearing Ningyu's words, the lava beast's face turned ugly. Although it was a lava beast and had a high resistance against lava and flames, the 10,000 beast flame was ranked 30th on the mystic flame list. However, the 10,000 beast flame was ranked 30th on the mystical flame list. Unless his cultivation base increased, he would not be able to withstand the impact of the 10,000 beast flame. "What do you want?" the lava beast said in a low voice. "What goes around comes around. This year's luck is really bad." At first, the lava beast had suppressed Ningyu to the point of suffocation. Who would have thought that in a short 10 minutes, the lava beast and Ningyu would switch positions? "I don't want anything. I just want to make a deal with you," Ningyu said with a wave of his hand. "What deal?" Although the lava beast was talking to Ningyu, its attention was on the battle between the 10,000 beast flame and the 10,000 bone flame. It was afraid that the two flames would suddenly attack it. If you help me deal with the Stone King, I can guarantee that the 10,000 beast flame won't attack you, Ningyu said. The lava beast's face darkened. No one knew what it was thinking. The current situation was not good for the lava beast. On one hand, the 10,000 bone flame was no longer under the lava beast's control. On the other hand, the lava beast's strength had dropped significantly after the 10,000 beast flame and the 10,000 bone flames battle. At this moment, not to mention the Stone King, the lava beast couldn't even contend against an ordinary pinnacle 9th grade sovereign. No problem. Although it knew that its strength had dropped significantly, the lava beast didn't dare to speak the truth. It had used the lava to swallow Ningyu. If Ningyu knew about its current state, he would definitely not let it go. The only thing it could do now was to agree to Ningyu's request and recover as soon as possible. As long as it could recover, it would be able to use a secret technique to escape. Sizzle. Right at that moment, the battle between the 10,000 beast flame and the 10,000 bone flame came to an end. A crisp sound rang out. The 10,000 beast flame turned around and fled, quickly arriving in front of Ningyu. What's going on? The sudden change made Ningyu's expression change drastically. If the flame of the 10,000 beasts were to be defeated, then he would be doomed for all eternity. Chapter 1294. Chapter 1294. Chapter 1294/Something's Wrong. Suddenly, Ningyu seemed to have thought of something. With a thought, he took out the flaming heart of 10,000 beasts. The blazing heart of 10,000 beasts was one with the 10,000 beast flame. When the 10,000 bestial flame heart left the body, the 10,000 bestial flame's combat prowess would decrease by at least 20 to 30%. It would definitely not be a match for the 10,000 bone flame. Buzz! The flame of 10,000 beasts shot out and devoured the flaming heart of 10,000 beasts in the blink of an eye. Rumble! When the two fused, the 10,000 beast flame became exceptionally violent. Whoosh! In the next moment, the 10,000 beast flame tore through the void and arrived in front of the 10,000 bone flame. The 10,000 bestial flame transformed into a giant flaming beast and directly swallowed the 10,000 bestial flame. What? This change was clearly out of the lava beast's expectations. Originally, the lava beast had thought that the 10,000 bestial flame was no match for the 10,000 bone flame. But what happened in front of him made him feel like he had been kid. Good. Ningyu was stunned at first, but then an ecstatic expression appeared on his face. At this moment, two words appeared in Ningyu's mind. Fusion. The 10,000 bestial flame and the 10,000 bone flame began to fuse. These two kinds of flames ranked very high on the exotic flames list, 30th and 29th respectively. Once they fused successfully, it was highly likely that a terrifying flame that was ranked in the top 20 of the exotic flame list would be born. Good chance. The lava beast was not a fool. It knew that the 10,000 bestial flame was currently fusing with the 10,000 bone flame. At this time, Ningyu would not be able to stimulate the 10,000 bestial flame. In other words, now is the best time to kill Ningyu. Kill Ningyu and seize control of the myriad beast flame. Kill. The giant lava beast did not hesitate in the slightest and attacked as soon as it said it would. He swung his huge arm and smashed it towards Ningyu. Voila! As the lava behemoth swung its arm, the surrounding lava burst forth. Phantom armor. Ningyu knew how serious the situation was. He quickly summoned his phantom armor and retreated. Where are you going? Although Ningyu had dodged its first attack, the lava beast was not discouraged. Instead, it attacked again. From the giant lava beast's point of view, although its combat strength was rapidly declining, killing Ningyu was not a problem. War God Body. At this critical moment, dark golden blood surged from Ningyu's heart and flowed through his entire body. Ningyu was like a god of war. He clenched his right fist and punched out. You want to fight with me? Hee hee. Why don't you take a look at yourself in the mirror? Seeing Ningyu overestimating himself and wanting to exchange blows with him, the giant lava beast smirked and said in disdain, "Gotcha." In the next moment, a crisp sound rang out. The lava behemoth's entire body flew out and crashed heavily on the ground. Impossible. The lava beast's face paled. It had never imagined that it would lose to Ningyu in terms of strength. He was so strong that even the king of the Stone Nation might not be able to beat him. The giant lava beast was shocked. In other words, the giant lava beast had underestimated the toughness of the war god body and overestimated his current strength. "Ningyu, let's talk things out. There's no need to resort to violence." Through this attack, the giant lava beast had already recognized the reality in front of it. It was no match for Ningyu. If they really fought, it would definitely die. "Now you want to reconcile?" Ningyu took out the red demon sword and said coldly, "It's too late." As soon as he said that, the vital energy under Ningyu's feet wrapped around him and he charged forward. Swoosh! However, Ningyu had only taken 2 or 3 steps when a cold light flashed out from the storage ring on his wrist. The cold light was very fast, and the lava in its path retreated. Soon, the cold light arrived in front of the giant lava beast and expanded in its pupils. World, seeing the cold light, the giant lava beast's eyes widened and it exclaimed, "Poof!" Before the giant lava beast could finish its sentence, the cold light pierced through its forehead and stopped in its body. The giant lava beast stood there like a wooden pillar, its mouth slightly open, and it was speechless for a long time. Whoosh! Not long after, the giant lava beast exploded from its chest. At this moment, the giant lava beast that was a first-grade Earth Supreme had died a horrible death. Sapling. After the giant lava beast exploded, a cold light rushed out and floated in front of Ningyu. Looking at the familiar figure, Ningyu said in surprise, "You have a second branch?" Ningyu clearly remembered that before the sapling merged with the world branch, it only had one branch. After merging with the world branch, the sapling had a second branch. At the same time, the sapling's strength had increased by leaps and bounds. According to Ningyu's speculation, the sapling's current strength should be equivalent to a first-grade Earth Supreme, and it was only a step away from becoming a second-grade Earth Supreme. "I was just lucky." The sapling stretched out its second branch and said, "You can't even deal with a trash like the giant lava beast. How are you going to follow me in the future?" Ningyu's face darkened. The sapling was really showing off. However, Ningyu knew that this wasn't the time to talk about this. The most important thing now was to help the myriad bestial flame and myriad bone flame merge. This was the most important thing, and there couldn't be any mistakes. "What's so difficult about that? Watch me." The sapling stretched out its second branch and wrapped the myriad bestial flame and myriad bone flame in the middle. "You know how to do this?" Ningyu was surprised. Logically speaking, the sapling had just gained sentience not long ago, so it shouldn't know these things. "Of course, I'm going to grow into a world tree in the future. How can I not know these things?" The sapling said proudly. "Pa!" Ningyu couldn't help but knock on the sapling and said, "Speak human language." "Speak human language, my ass. I'm a world tree. I'm speaking tree language." The sapling said, "In ancient times, many experts comprehended the Tao under the world tree. They left behind many cultivation techniques. Among them, there was a peerless expert who once merged with a mystic flame." A peerless expert merged with a mystic flame? Ningyu was taken aback. He didn't expect such a thing to happen. "Of course, my memory is a little fuzzy. That expert merged with a mystic flame ranked top 10, the sapling said. "All right, you win." Ningyu didn't want to delve into this matter. He was most concerned about whether the myriad bestial flame and myriad bone flame could be merged. "Don't worry, leave it to me." Seeing Ningyu's worry, the sapling said, "With me around, there won't be any accidents." Chi, chi, chi. The myriad bestial flame was ranked 30th on the mystic flame list, while the myriad bone flame was ranked 29th. It was originally extremely difficult for them to merge, as difficult as ascending to the heavens. However, with the sapling's help, the speed of their merging gradually increased. At this speed, it would take at most 10 minutes to completely merge. Swish, swish, swish. At the same time, several figures suddenly appeared at the entrance of the three stone caves. The leader was an old man dressed in gray. Chapter 1295. Chapter 1295. Chapter 1295 Anger. Not good. All of them are pill puppets. Not far away from the three stone cave, the Dark Emperor and Jean Ba's expressions changed drastically. With the Dark Emperor and Jean Ba's keen perception, they could naturally sense the cultivation of Venerable Ba Li and the others. What now? Jean Ba's eyes flickered as he panicked. If there were only three stone beasts, he was confident that he could lure them away and rescue Ningyu. However, a large number of pill refinement realm experts had suddenly appeared, and the weakest amongst them was a pinnacle 9th grade sovereign. There were even many quasi-Earth sovereigns amongst them. Let's wait and see. The stone beasts will definitely clash with the pill puppets. We are not in a hurry. The Dark Emperor was unusually calm, so calm that it was a little scary. During the time that Ningyu was trapped, he had been trying to break through, but unfortunately, all his attempts ended in failure. Although he was unable to break through, a lot of information suddenly appeared in the Dark Emperor's mind. The Dark Emperor had a familiar feeling about this information, but he couldn't grasp it or touch it. The additional information in his mind was not entirely a bad thing. At the very least, it made the Dark Emperor less rash. Sigh, now that things have come to this is all we can do. Jean Ba said with a sigh. Rumble. At the same time, Venerable Ba Li said in a deep voice, Call your leader out. I have something to ask him. Kaka. Venerable Ba Li's performance was very domineering. As he spoke, he unleashed his aura and frantically suppressed the two half-step Earth Sovereign Stone beasts. Along the way, Venerable Ba Li and the others followed the Blood Demon Venerable's aura. In front of the three stone cave, the Blood Demon Venerable's aura had completely disappeared. With Ba Li's intelligence, he could naturally guess that the Blood Demon Venerable was hiding in the Tri-Stone Cave. The two quasi-Earth Sovereign Realm Stone beasts were definitely left behind by the Blood Demon Venerable. Roar! Being pressured by Venerable Ba Li's powerful aura, the two quasi-Earth Sovereign Realm Stone beasts emitted crackling noises as they roared towards the sky. Not good. In the depths of the three-stone cave, the Stone King's expression turned ugly. He was waiting in front of the lava, waiting for the lava behemoth to emerge from the bottom. The sudden change at the entrance of Three Stone Cave infuriated him. Whatever, the World Tree Sapling is more important. With a cold expression, the King of the Stone Nation decided to stay for the time being. Compared to the two half-step Earth Supremes, the World Tree Sapling was more important. The Stone King chose to give up on the two stone beasts and continued to move deeper into the cave, setting up a formation. It was very difficult to set up a profound formation, and there was no time for the Stone King to set it up. The formations set up by the Stone King were very simple, so simple that they could be broken with brute force. However, brute force had its limitations. Unless one's strength was greater than the Stone King's, it was impossible to break the formation. Damned lava beast! Why isn't it out yet? After setting up several arrays, the Stone King paced back and forth in the depths of the three-stone cave, looking very nervous. The King of the Stone Nation knew that he didn't have much time left. He had to hurry. Let's fight. Gritting his teeth, the Stone King once again split a portion of his perception to carefully approach the lava. This time, the Stone King's expression was very interesting. It was not because of the powerful heat of the lava, but because the lava seemed to have lost its soul. Despite its high temperature, it was not lethal at all. Could the World Tree Sapling have devoured the lava beast? The Stone King wondered. The Stone King knew that some powerful branches of the World Tree could devour martial artists. What the lava beast had taken was not an ordinary branch of the World Tree, but the sapling of the World Tree, which had its own consciousness. From this, it could be seen that the giant lava beast was taken care of by the sapling. I'll go into. The Stone King did not want to wait any longer. He felt that he had to take the risk. It was either win or die. Success or failure depended on this. Splash! The Stone King's enormous body was completely submerged in the lava. Where's the lava beast? The Stone King was slightly taken aback at the center of the lava. In the lava, he did not discover the existence of the giant lava beast. One must know that the giant lava beast was a first-grade Earth Supreme realm cultivator. Even if Ningyu cultivated for a few more decades, he would not be a match for the lava beast. Could it be in the deepest part? The Stone King did not linger in the middle of the lava. He leaped to the bottom. Ningyu! The Stone King shouted when he saw the figure not far away. How could you still be alive? The Stone King was very confused. Logically speaking, with the lava giant's personality, it would never let Ningyu survive. But Ningyu was alive and well. While the lava beast had disappeared, suddenly, the Stone King thought of a terrifying possibility. Could it be that Ningyu had killed the lava beast? The more he thought about it, the more likely it seemed. Why can't I be alive? To be honest, Ningyu was also surprised to see the Stone King at the bottom of the lava. But on second thought, Ningyu understood. After all, the Stone King did not want to miss the sapling of the World Tree. But Ningyu was not afraid of the Stone King. With the sapling nearby, it was almost impossible for the Stone King to kill him. Give me the sapling of the World Tree, and I'll spare your life. The Stone King snorted, not taking Ningyu seriously at all. You want me to give you the sapling of the World Tree? Ningyu was dazed at first. Then he grabbed the sapling and threw it at the Stone King. Swoosh! The sapling cooperated. It did not do anything, but let Ningyu do whatever he wanted. Stop! There must be something wrong. The Stone King did not think he had the charisma to make Ningyu give him the sapling of the World Tree. Since Ningyu dared to throw the sapling at him, it meant that he had a trump card. The Stone King opened his mouth and spat out a rock at the sapling. Crack! But the rock did not stop the sapling. It did not even slow down the sapling. In the blink of an eye, the sapling was in front of the Stone King. Smack! One of the branches expanded rapidly and whipped the Stone King's body. The sapling was furious. He was the Great World Tree, and not just anyone could order him around. Smack! After the first branch was sent out, the sapling sent out a second branch. The two branches whipped at the Stone King from all directions. Although the sapling's body was extremely hard, the sapling was not an ordinary tree. It was the World Tree, and its branches were extremely hard. What the hell is this? The Stone King's pupils contracted when the branches hit him. He quickly retreated. But how could the sapling let the Stone King retreat? It swung the branches again and again, making the Stone King dizzy. I'm so angry. Since he could not retreat, the Stone King decided to let go. He swung his huge arm and smashed it towards the sapling, wanting to use this opportunity to break the sapling. Crack! A crisp sound was heard. Chapter 1296. Retreat. The King of Gems was going crazy. He was a Grade 1 Earth Supreme, but now he was so weak. If others saw this, where would he put his face? Let's go. The King of the Stone Nation was not an indecisive monster. He knew that he was no match for the sapling, so he left immediately without saying a word. Whoosh! The King of Gems was a Grade 1 Earth Supreme. If he wanted to retreat, even the sapling would not be able to stop him. However, the sapling did not seem to want to stop the King of Gems. Why not? Ningyu was puzzled. Now that the King of Gems was defeated, their morale was high. It was the best time to kill the King of Gems. If they missed this opportunity, they would not get it again. Crack! As soon as Ningyu's voice fell, a crisp sound came from the sapling. Hearing that, Ningyu's face changed. This was because Ningyu realized that one of the branches on the sapling had actually snapped. Fortunately, the middle of the branch was connected by the bark. Otherwise, the sapling would have completely lost this branch. The King of Gems' strength is beyond my expectation, the sapling said. Unless I go all out, I won't be able to fight the King of Gems. Looking at the merging flames, the sapling said, the merging of the two flames is at a critical moment. I don't want to be distracted. Hearing the sapling's words and the branch that contained the myriad bestial flame and the myriad bone flame, Ningyu finally understood. The sapling was not at its peak. One of the branches had diverted most of its power to trap the strange flames and help them merge. It was not easy for the sapling to force the king of gems back. Sizzle. At this moment, the myriad bestial flame and the myriad bone flame gradually merged into one, forming a brand new flame. This is the myriad bone bestial flame? Ningyu's jaw dropped when he saw the flames recombining not far away. Disbelief filled his face. The new flame after the myriad bestial flame and the myriad bone flame looked like the myriad bone flame and the myriad bestial flame. Come here. Ningyu's mind stirred, wanting to control this new type of flame. Voila! The new flame wasn't perfect. It only fused together for a few seconds before separating again. It can't be fused? Ningyu was dumbfounded. He had put in so much effort, and even the sapling was almost seriously injured, but he still couldn't merge the two flames together. This is 2F** get up. I think I can control the 10,000 bone flame now. Although he was unable to merge the 10,000 bone flame with the 10,000 bestial flame, Ningyu felt that his connection with the 10,000 bone flame had deepened significantly. In other words, the current him could control both the 10,000 bone flame and the 10,000 beast flame. Looks like I won't be able to fuse them again in a short time. Ningyu muttered, the myriad bestial flame and the myriad bone flame are mutually exclusive. Unless I advance to the Earth Supreme Realm, or even the Heavenly Supreme Realm, I won't be able to fuse them together again. Sapling, when will you be able to recover to your peak condition? Ningyu turned around and asked. Ningyu wanted to leave the bottom of the lava as soon as possible. After all, the Dark Emperor and Janba were still outside. He was afraid that the king of the Stony Nation would attack them out of desperation. It will take a long time for me to recover to my peak condition, and I will need a lot of treasures. The sapling had already glued the broken branches back together. I know you want to go out, but I have to remind you that there are many elixir puppets in the 3 stone caves. The weakest among them is a peak 9th grade human supreme, and there's even a 1st grade Earth Supreme. That 1st grade Earth Supreme is no weaker than the king of the Stony Nation. What? Ningyu's heart went cold, and his heart sank to the bottom. If what the sapling said was true, then he wouldn't be able to leave the bottom of the lava in a short time. What is their relationship with the king of the Stony Nation? Suddenly, Ningyu seemed to have thought of something and asked hurriedly. Ningyu was concerned about the relationship between the king of the Stony Nation and the elixir puppets. If they worked together, then the consequences would be unimaginable. If there was a feud between them, then there was still a chance. Don't think too much. I have already sealed the bottom of the lava. The elixir puppets outside won't be able to find out what's going on. The sapling continued. Besides, the king of the Stony Nation is not stupid enough to tell the elixir puppets that we are here. We can't stay here forever, can we? Ningyu frowned. That's easy. I'll teach you a move. If you can use it, you can even injure a 1st grade human supreme if you catch them off guard. The sapling's words were as shocking as they could get. Teach me a move? Ningyu didn't believe the sapling. In his previous life, he was a heavenly sovereign, and even he was helpless in this situation. So what could a sapling do? In ancient times, someone said under the Tree of World that if 2 different kinds of fire are forcefully merged and their repelling characteristics are used, a terrifying power will be released. The sapling said, do you know this kind of fusion spell? Ningyu was overjoyed. He had heard of this special fusion spell in his previous life. An Earth Supreme was besieged by many Sky Supreme. That Earth Supreme had forcefully merged 2 of the top 10 flames on the fire list and released a terrifying power that allowed him to escape. Ningyu was not only a Sky Supreme in his previous life, but also a peak 9th grade human supreme. At that time, Ningyu had asked around, wanting to learn that fusion spell. Unfortunately, no one knew. No matter how much he inquired, he couldn't find a single clue. In the end, he left it unsettled. Now that he heard the sapling's words, Ningyu's heart became lively. He could control the myriad bestial flame and the myriad bone flame. If he could master this fusion spell, his strength would increase by several times. He would be fearless even if he had to face an Earth Supreme. In your dreams, the sapling poured a bucket of cold water on Ningyu, pulling Ningyu back to reality. I don't know this spell either. I just want you to try it. Holy sh**t. Ningyu almost cursed. It turned out that even the sapling didn't know about this fusion spell. He had been so happy for nothing. The consequences of merging the flames without the fusion spell were terrifying. In all these years, there were only a few people who were able to fuse two types of strange flames. All the others failed without exception and died. This is the only way out. Otherwise, we will stay here and wait for the King of Stones to come in again. The sapling said, "Don't say I didn't warn you. With my current strength, I only have a 10% chance of winning if I fight the King of Stones again." Ningyu's face darkened. The sapling was forcing him into a dead end. Screw it. Clenching his fists, Ningyu knew he couldn't waste any more time. Although the sapling didn't say it loud enough, Ningyu was no fool. He knew there must be many elixir puppets in the three-stone cave. The only thing he could do now was to forcefully merge the myriad bestial flame and the myriad bone flame and use their repelling characteristics to unleash a terrifying power. That was the only way he could fight his way out and seize the initiative. Chapter 1297. Kill. Bang. Bang. At the entrance of the Tri-Stone Cave, Supremacy Bali threw a stone beast to the ground. A powerful voice rang out from Bali's mouth. "Stony Monarch, I know the Blood Demon Sovereign and Ningyu are inside. I advise you to hand them over, or I'll flatten the Tri-Stone Cave." Venerable Bali was very powerful. His voice turned into a sharp gust of wind as he rushed into the depths of the cave. The Stony Monarch sat beside the lava, his expression indifferent and unmoved. The World Tree sapling's terrifying battle prowess made the Stony Monarch's heart tremble. Moreover, it was unrealistic for the Stony Monarch to probe the situation inside after coming up from the bottom of the lava, not to mention whether he could probe it. He didn't even have the guts to do so. Swish! Suddenly, the Stony Monarch stood up and waved his hands, setting up layers of arrays above the lava. The formations that the King of the Stone Nation had set up were extremely terrifying, even more so than the formations that he had just set up. The World Tree sapling is mine. No one can take it away from me. A cold light flashed in the Stony Monarch's eyes as he turned and walked out of the Tri-Stone Cave. But after 3 steps, the Stony Monarch stopped and said in a clear voice, "Friends outside, I don't know the Blood Demon's Sovereign or Ningyu. I advise you to leave as soon as possible. Haha." Halfway through the Stony Monarch's words, Supremacy Bali threw his head back and laughed. "You think I'll leave just because you tell me to? Wouldn't I lose face then?" Crack! As he spoke, Supremacy Bali raised his right foot and stomped heavily on the head of the stone beast. Supremacy Bali didn't hold back. Terrifying energy rippled from his ankle. The stone beast that Supremacy Bali was stepping on was only a half-step Earth Sovereign, so it naturally couldn't withstand Supremacy Bali's foot. Without a doubt, the stone beast was stomped to death by Supremacy Bali. "I'll give you one last chance. Hand over the Blood Demon's Sovereign and Ningyu, or I'll flatten the Tri-Stone Cave." Supremacy Bali exerted a bit of force with his right foot and kicked the stone beast towards the Tri-Stone Cave. Bang! Due to the formation that the Stone King had set up, the quasi-Earth Sovereign Stone Beast didn't reach the Stone King. It stopped a few steps away from the Stone King. Damn it! Even though the Stone King had a heart of stone, he was extremely furious when he saw his subordinates being killed by Venerable Bali. "Don't go too far," the King of the Stone Nation said coldly. "Going too far? Ha! When Dan Ming is handling matters, you actually dare to obstruct him. Only death awaits you." The corners of Venerable Bali's mouth curled up into an arc. Then he raised his right foot once more and stomped down. Gotcha! The same thing happened. The hands of the other half-step Earth Sovereign died beneath Venerable Bali's feet. "How about it, King of the Stone Nation? Are you going to hand him over or not?" Venerable Bali folded his arms in front of his chest and stared straight into the cave. Chi! The Stone King's heart trembled. He pointed with his right hand, and a cold light shot out, colliding with Supremacy Bali's gaze. The two collided and both dissipated. No wonder you're so arrogant. Turns out you have some skill." In that short exchange, both Supremacy Ba Li and the Stone King had a clear understanding of each other's strength. They were evenly matched. Neither Supremacy Ba Li nor the Stone King could do anything to the other. In other words, there wasn't much of a difference in their strength. Under such circumstances, Supremacy Ba Li's side was undoubtedly the most advantageous. After all, Supremacy Ba Li had quite a few half-step Earth sovereigns and peak ninth-grade human sovereigns on his side. The king of the Stone Nation was alone. Leave 2 peak ninth-grade human sovereigns to guard the door. The rest, follow me. Supremacy Ba Li handled matters swiftly and decisively without the slightest bit of sloppiness. He moved his feet and entered the cave of 3 rocks first. The other Danming powerhouses didn't dare to tarry and followed close behind. Stop! After walking for several minutes inside the cave, Supremacy Ba Li raised his right hand and said in a deep voice, "Wait." Venerable Ba Li flicked his sleeve, and a cold light flew out in an instant. Puffed. The cold light flew only 4 or 5 meters before it seemed to hit a barrier and couldn't advance any further. It's a barrier of power. Watch me break it. The corner of Supremacy Ba Li's mouth curled up. He threw a punch that landed precisely on the barrier. Crack! Just as Supremacy Ba Li said, the first barrier was a barrier of power. This kind of barrier wasn't a problem for Supremacy Ba Li, and he easily broke it. For the rest of the journey, Supremacy Ba Li kept stopping and walking. It took them half an hour to reach the deepest part of the cave. Stone King, you're quite calm. In the depths of the cave, Supremacy Ba Li stopped and said, "Speak. Where are the Blood Demon, Sovereign, and Ningyu? Hand them over, and I'll spare your life." "Are you sure you can kill me?" The Stone King's face was devoid of joy or sorrow. "Killing you is as easy as blowing off dust." Supremacy Ba Li folded his arms and stared at the Stone King with interest. Ningyu and the others stole the Myriad Bone Cave's treasure. No matter what, we must get it back today. As he spoke, Supremacy Ba Li's eyes locked onto the Stone King, wanting to see if there was anything amiss with him. However, being able to cultivate to the Earth's supreme level was enough to show how extraordinary the Stone King was. Supremacy Ba Li didn't notice anything amiss. What Myriad Bone Cave? What treasure? What has that got to do with me? The king of the Stone Nation was still unmoved. Good, very good, very good. Supremacy Ba Li's expression instantly turned cold. He turned his head and said, "Attack with all your might and break through the defenses in front of us as quickly as possible." In truth, Supremacy Ba Li had noticed the Stone King's formation the moment he arrived. Venerable Ba Li's attainments in the art of formations were not to be trifled with. He quickly found a flaw in Supremacy Ba Li's formation. Extending his hand, Supremacy Ba Li pointed to the upper left corner of the formation. That is the weakest point of the entire formation. As long as you attack with all your might, you will be able to break it in no time. Hearing this, the pill refinement realm experts behind Ba Li unleashed their most powerful attacks and began to bombard the formation. Supremacy Ba Li was no fool. He naturally wouldn't break the formation himself. Through the hurried exchange just now, Supremacy Ba Li knew that the Stone King was powerful and on par with him. If he expended too much energy now, wouldn't he fall into the Stone King's trap? Splash! However, just as the pill puppets were doing their best to break the formation, something strange happened. A cultivator rushed out from the bottom of the lava. Ningyu! The sudden change stunned Supremacy Ba Li at first. Then he laughed heartily. You can wear out iron shoes in fruitless searching, only to find what you're looking for without even looking. If you had been hiding at the bottom of the lava, I might not have been able to find you. But you were foolish enough to leave the lava. Since that's the case, you won't be able to escape even if you grow wings. Above the lava, Ningyu's tightly shut eyes suddenly opened. Chapter 1298. Chapter 1298. Stone Beast Rebellion. How dare you try to kill my people? The Stone King snorted, uncharacteristically supporting Ningyu. This is the 3-stone cave, not your Myriad Bone Cave. If you don't back off, I'll kill all of you. The Stone King's performance was extremely domineering. It was as if he wasn't facing Supremacy Ba Li and the others, but a bunch of chickens and dogs. Hee hee, Stone King, don't think I won't touch you. Supremacy Ba Li smiled, then said coldly, everyone, attack with all your might. Break the defensive formation. Whoosh! The pill puppets made their moves as soon as Supremacy Ba Li's words fell. All kinds of magical arts flew out, all aimed at the same point. Crack! Although the formation set up by the Stone King was powerful, it didn't last long under the bombardment of so many core refinement realm experts. The second formation, upper left corner. Supremacy Ba Li didn't intend to stop there. He approached step by step, ordering the pill puppets to attack the second formation. Crack! Soon, the second formation was also broken. Crack! 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 The Stone King's formations were all broken. Where are the Blood Demon Sovereign and the Black Dog? Why don't I see them here? After breaking the formation, Supremacy Ba Li frowned. Stone King, hand over the Blood Demon Sovereign and the Black Dog, and I'll let bygones be bygones. Otherwise, I'll flatten the 3-stone cave. Boom! As Supremacy Ba Li spoke, the pill puppets behind him cooperated. The pill puppets unleashed their auras and pressed down on the Stone King. Since the Stone King had stepped forward to protect Ningyu, Supremacy Ba Li and the others believed that the Stone King and Ningyu were on the same side. Since they were on the same side, they didn't mind getting rid of the Stone King as well. Let me repeat myself. This is the 3-stone cave, my territory. The Stone King didn't back down. He unleashed his aura and collided with the pill puppets. Uft, uft. The Stone King was, after all, a first-grade Earth sovereign. On Supremacy Ba Li's side, the numerous pill puppets were naturally no match for the Stone Monarch. In just a few seconds, several of the 10,000 Bone Cave's core refinement experts vomited blood. Their complexions were a bit ugly. Oomph. Venerable Ba Li took a step forward and coldly snorted, refusing a toast only to drink a forfeit. Rumble. As Lord Ba Li's voice faded, his aura soared into the sky and pressed down on the Stone King. Poochie. This time, it was the king of the Stone Nation who spat out blood. It was difficult for the king of the Stone Nation to fight one against many. Has the king of the Stone Nation changed? In the air, Ningyu was a little dumbfounded. To be honest, Ningyu was surprised that the Stone Emperor was willing to help Ningyu. Back at the bottom of the lava, Ningyu and the king of the Stone Nation had a huge battle. If it weren't for the sapling, Ningyu would have fallen into the hands of the Stone King. Understand, Ningyu wasn't a fool. He thought about it and immediately understood. The Stone King wanted to protect him because of the sapling. The sapling was too important to the Stone King, so important that he was willing to take the risk. However, there was one thing that Ningyu couldn't understand. The Stone King was scared away by the sapling at the bottom of the lava. Why would he help now? Could it be that he found a way to counter the sapling after his strength increased? It's best if both sides suffer. Although he didn't know why the Stone King would help him, Ningyu was clear that the Stone King was up to no good. Sapling, who do you think will win? Ningyu put away the myriad bestial flame and myriad bone flame and crossed his arms in front of his chest. He looked at the Stone King with interest and began to communicate with the sapling. Isn't it obvious? It must be the experts from a myriad bone cave, the sapling said. Haven't you noticed? The Grade 1 Earth Supreme from the myriad bone cave hasn't used his full strength yet. Every time he attacks, he's probing. Probing? Ningyu was taken aback. He looked at the battlefield and said, "You're right. Every attack from Ba Li's supremacy seemed powerful, but that was not the case. Every attack from him was easily countered by the Stone King. What should we do now? Should we give them a big one?" Ningyu said in a low voice. "Let's wait and see. It's impossible to leave the 3-stone cave now." And at this point, the sapling paused for a moment and didn't continue. "And what?" Ningyu asked. "If I'm not mistaken, all the stone beasts in the 3-stone mountain are heading this way." Whoosh! It was just as the sapling had said. All the stone beasts in the 3-stone mountain were mobilized. An overwhelming number of stone beasts came out of the caves. The number of stone beasts continued to grow. In the end, an extremely terrifying group swept across the three-stone mountain. Wherever the group passed, not even a blade of grass would grow. It was extremely terrifying. Oh no, it's the stone beasts. Not far from the three-stone cave, the Dark Emperor and Jean Ba's expressions changed when they saw the billowing smoke. They had never seen so many stone beasts before. Even if these stone beasts were only low-level human supremacies, they could still trample them into pieces with their advantage in numbers. Go underground. The Dark Emperor and Jean Ba didn't want to stay there a second longer. They leaped and drilled into the ground. Holy crap, there are stone beasts underground too. The Dark Emperor and Jean Ba were dumbfounded after just a few meters underground. They had thought that all the stone beasts were above ground. Who would have thought that there was an army of stone beasts underground? Gulp, think of a way to enter the three-stone cave. Swallowing a mouthful of saliva, the Dark Emperor leaped out of the ground. Whoosh, whoosh. The Dark Emperor and Jean Ba immediately ran toward the entrance of the three-stone cave. As the saying went, the most dangerous place was the safest place. Maybe the stone beasts wouldn't enter the three-stone cave? There was always hope. Otherwise, they would be no different from salted fish. It's you, Jean Ba, and that black dog. The Dark Emperor and Jean Ba had just arrived at the entrance of the three-stone cave when they were discovered by two peak grade 9 human supremacies. Although the two pill puppets had discovered the Dark Emperor and Jean Ba, they didn't dare to make a move here. This was because the Stone Beast army had already arrived in front of the three-stone cave and surrounded it. At this time, even the slightest leakage of Yuan Qi could cause the Stone Beast to attack the three-stone cave. Therefore, the Dark Emperor and the Myriad Bone Cave's pill puppets temporarily put aside their differences and didn't rashly use their Yuan Qi. We have to think of a way. We can't stay here forever. One of the Myriad Bone Cave's pill puppets said solemnly. What can we do? It's nothing more than entering the three-stone cave and asking Venerable Ba Li for help. The other pill puppet said, we can't move first. Let Jean Ba and the others move. To be careful, the first pill puppet said to Jean Ba and the Dark Emperor, you two enter the three-stone cave and tell Venerable Ba Li about the situation here. Tell him to come out and save us. Chapter 1299. Chapter 1299. Negotiation, at most, we'll just fight to the death. Jean Ba wasn't afraid of the two pill puppets. Now no one dared to use their essence Qi, and no one dared to move easily. The two pill puppets wanted to order him around? It was like a joke. You. Hearing Jean Ba's words, the two pill puppets gnashed their teeth. Jean Ba was right. They didn't dare to use their Yuan Qi or move. What about you? Come over if you can. The Dark Emperor cooperated with Jean Ba. He rolled his eyes and said, your grandfather is standing right here. I guarantee that he won't even frown. Fine, fine. You win. Helpless, the two pill puppets could only give up. They didn't have the guts to teach the Dark Emperor and Jean Ba a lesson. Whoosh. As time passed, the Stone Beast army seemed to be getting more and more agitated. At this rate, the Stone Beast would charge in at any moment. At that time, the pill puppets, the Dark Emperor, and the rest would all be trampled into pieces. We have to think of a way. The Dark Emperor and Jean Ba exchanged glances and saw the anxiety in each other's eyes. The situation was urgent, and they had to resolve it as soon as possible. Hey, nondescript fellows, after our consideration, we feel that it's not a bad idea to enter the three-stone cave first, but you'll have to pay a small price. The Dark Emperor raised his brows. What conditions? The two pill puppets' eyes lit up. We don't want much. Just give us some pure Yuan Qi. The Dark Emperor said. Here. One of the pill puppets flicked his wrist and threw a crystal ball to the Dark Emperor. There's a large amount of pure Yuan Qi in this crystal ball. It's enough for you to cultivate to the 5th grade. In the pill puppet's opinion, even if they gave everything they had to the Dark Emperor wouldn't be able to escape. Supremacy Ba Li and the rest were in the depths of the three-stone cave. The Dark Emperor and Jean Ba would definitely encounter them once they entered. At that time, would Supremacy Ba Li let them go? The answer was no. Therefore, the pill puppet didn't hesitate and gave all the pure yuan qi he had to the Dark Emperor. Gotcha! After receiving the crystal ball, the Dark Emperor threw it into his mouth without a word. Seeing the Dark Emperor's actions, the corners of the two elixir puppets' mouths twitched at the same time. The crystal ball that they had given to the Dark Emperor contained a boundless amount of essence energy. Even if the Dark Emperor was a purple gold sky devouring hound, it would still be a little too much, right? Very good, thank you. The Dark Emperor nodded at the two pill puppets. Then he stomped on the ground and quickly flew toward the three-stone cave. Whoosh! Zhanba followed closely behind the Dark Emperor. Should we go in? Seeing that the Dark Emperor and Zhanba had safely entered the three-stone cave, the two pill puppets spoke in unison. Let's go in. The two Dawn were not fools. Since the Dark Emperor and Zhanba could enter the three-stone cave safely, it meant that they could as well. If they stayed any longer, there was no telling when the stone beasts would go berserk. Therefore, entering the three-stone cave now was the best choice. Xiao! These two Dan-mats were not indecisive Dan-mats. They left as soon as they said they would. Their feet stepped on the ground, and they quickly rushed into the depths of the three-stone caves. Rumble. However, right at this moment, an unexpected change occurred. The large number of stone beasts outside the three-stone cave dispersed, creating a wide path. Whoosh, 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 several stone beasts flew over from afar and rushed toward the three-stone cave at a shocking speed. Shit, let's go. The two myriad bone cave Dan-mats turned pale with fright. They used all their strength and rushed toward the depths of the three-stone cave. Bang! Bang! However, the myriad bone cave Dan-mats were only at the peak of the 9th grade human supreme realm. How could their speed catch up to the powerful stone beasts? Those stone beasts were all at the half-step Earth Supreme realm. After flying for tens of steps, the two myriad bone cave Dan-mats were hit in the chest by a huge force and slammed into the wall. The result of falling to the ground in front of the stone beast army was obvious. The two myriad bone cave Dan-mats were stomped into pieces and died on the spot. At the same time, the Dark Emperor and Zhanba had already escaped to the depths of the three-stone cave. However, seeing the large number of Dan-mats in front of them, the Dark Emperor and Zhanba immediately stopped and their faces turned pale. When the Dark Emperor and Zhanba flew at full speed, they could naturally sense the stone beasts outside the three-stone cave. There were wolves in front and tigers behind. They were in an extremely dangerous situation. Dark Emperor, Zhanba not good. In the deepest part of the three-stone cave, Ningyu saw the Dark Emperor and Zhanba and was overjoyed. However, when Ningyu saw the stone beast army behind the Dark Emperor and Zhanba, his expression changed and he shouted, "Watch out! Stop!" The Stone King was caught off guard by the sudden opportunity. As the leader of the stone beasts, the Stone King quickly reacted and said in a low voice, "Stand back. No one is allowed to attack without my permission." Whoosh! The Stone King issued an order. As soon as he spoke, the stone beast army stopped. Whoosh! Seeing the stone beast army stop, the Dark Emperor and Zhanba heaved a sigh of relief. The situation just now had given them a fright. If the stone beast army had charged at them with full force, they would have been killed instantly. If they didn't die, there was no chance of survival. Supremacy Bali, do you still want to flatten the three-stone cave? The Stone King smiled and said to Supremacy Bali, "With a single command from me, this place will become hell on earth." Supremacy Bali's face was dark and gloomy. No one knew what he was thinking. He didn't expect the Stone King to have such power in the Three-Stone Mountain. Supremacy Bali knew that there were many stone beasts in the Three-Stone Mountain, but he didn't expect there to be so many half-step Earth Supreme stone beasts. In his opinion, it was already good enough that the Three-Stone Mountain could nurture one Earth Supreme. Who would have thought that there would be so many half-step Earth Supreme stone beasts? There must be treasures in the Three-Stone Mountain. Supremacy Bali's eyes lit up at the thought. He couldn't miss this opportunity. Stone King, aren't you afraid that the Black Dog and Zhanba will die during the battle? Supremacy Bali shrugged. What am I afraid of? If they die, so be it. It has nothing to do with me. The Stone King's words were directed at Ningyu. The Stone King wanted to know how important the Dark Emperor and Janba were to Ningyu. Stone King, I hope you can protect the Dark Emperor and Janba. Ningyu naturally knew what the Stone King meant. If you can save the Dark Emperor and Janba, I can plead on your behalf and let the sapling help you take human form. No, I need a branch. The Stone King clearly didn't want to agree to Ningyu's request. The Stone King wasn't a fool. If Ningyu didn't use the sapling right away, it meant that there was something wrong with it. This was the best time to take advantage of the situation. If he missed this opportunity, he wouldn't get another one. Chapter 1300. To slaughter the heavens and destroy the earth. This is extortion. Ningyu began to bargain. There were only 2 branches on the sapling's body, and one of them was severely damaged. If the sapling were to give up a branch at this time, it would undoubtedly aggravate its injuries. It doesn't matter to me, but whether your 2 friends survive or not doesn't have much to do with me. The king of the Stone Nation looked very confident. Voila! At the same time, the half-step Earth sovereign stone beast behind the Dark Emperor and Janba took a step forward. The king of the Stone Nation was putting on a show for Ningyu, forcing Ningyu to submit. I can only fight for a small branch for you. A whole branch is impossible. Ningyu said in a low voice, you should know that we have the ability to leave this place. At worst, we can find a place to hide and wait for the sapling to completely recover. Then, we can come back and destroy the 3-stone cave. You're threatening me, the king of the Stone Nation said coldly. If you really want to think of it that way, just take it as a threat. Ningyu shrugged and said, a small branch is the best result I can get for you. Don't push your luck. Remember what you said. The king of the Stone Nation knew that he couldn't push Ningyu too hard. If Ningyu really left with the sapling, he would never get the branch of the world tree. Don't worry, I can swear an oath to the heavens. If I do not give you a small branch, you can kill the Dark Emperor and Janba at any time. Ningyu nodded and said. The reason why Ningyu dared to raise this condition was because the sapling told him that losing a small branch was no big deal. It just so happened that one of the sapling's branches had broken off, so it needed to give up a small branch. Originally, the sapling planned to give the branch it cut off to Ningyu to strengthen Ningyu's body. Since the Dark Emperor was in danger, using the branch to save the Dark Emperor was not a bad idea. Take that black dog and that man away. The king of the Stone Nation watched as Ningyu made the heavenly oath and ordered a half-step Earth sovereign stone beast to bring the Dark Emperor and Janba out of the 3-stone cave. The king of the Stone Nation chose to take the Dark Emperor and Janba away, on one hand, to save them, and on the other, to threaten Ningyu. You're smart. Venerable Ba Li knew who was more important, so he watched as the stone beast took away the Dark Emperor and Janba. He did not stop it. I don't need you to judge whether I'm smart or not. The king of the Stone Nation said proudly, your life and death are in your own hands. One word, retreat or fight. The king of the Stone Nation had nothing to worry about. In terms of top combat power, he was not weaker than the Myriad Bone Cave. He and Venerable Ba Li were both first-grade Earth sovereigns, and their strengths were on par with each other. As for the remaining half-step Earth Supremes, his side even had the advantage. If he didn't even dare to fight Venerable Ba Li and the others, then he could really go home and plant sweet potatoes. Fight! Venerable Ba Li wasn't a pushover either. Go deal with the stone beasts outside. Leave the Stone King to me. Swish! Venerable Ba Li charged out as he spoke. Crack, crack, crack. The king of the Stone Nation's formation had no effect on Venerable Ba Li's speed. Even for a second, he was unable to block it. Venerable Ba Li was a formation master, and his attainments in formations were profound. For the king of the Stone Nation to set up a formation that could trap him was more difficult than ascending to the heavens. Take this. Venerable Ba Li raised his brows and waved his hands. A small vortex appeared in the air and charged at the king of the Stone Nation. It's a formation. Ningyu frowned when he saw Venerable Ba Li's vortex. It was a little scary. A pill puppet that could set up a formation with a flip of its hand and use it to attack must have a high status among the pill puppets. Sapling, how much longer do you need to recover? Ning, you didn't want to get involved in the battle between the king of the Stone Nation and Venerable Bali. He took a few steps back and communicated with the sapling. I'm not sure. At least a day, at most half a year, the sapling replied. Too slow. Is there any other way to speed it up? Ning Yu shook his head. The battle was intense, and the sapling needed to recover as soon as possible. Although Ning Yu could fuse the myriad bestial flame and the myriad bone flame, it could only be used once at a critical moment. Moreover, Ning Yu wouldn't be able to kill Venerable Bali by fusing the two flames. He had to find an opportunity. It's not impossible for me to recover as soon as possible, the sapling said. What is it? Ning Yu hurriedly asked. It's simple. Find me a large amount of heaven and earth treasures and let me devour them, the sapling said. I don't want that. Ning Yu was so angry that his nose was crooked. They were trapped in the 3 stone caves. Where would they find heaven and earth treasures? 3 stone caves was the king of the Stone Nation's territory. That's right, the king of the Stone Nation. Suddenly, Ning Yu seemed to have thought of something, and his eyes began to search the entire 3 stone cave. The Stone Nation had occupied the 3 stone caves for many years. There was no reason there wouldn't be heaven and earth treasures here. Blood fusion crystal. Ning Yu released his perception and quickly discovered an extremely precious crystal on the surrounding walls. The blood fusion crystal was even more precious than an emperor-grade origin crystal. The energy contained within it was enormous. Ning Yu didn't expect to see it here. Swish! Moving his feet, Ning Yu quickly arrived beside the blood fusion crystal and tried to break it off. However, no matter how hard Ning Yu tried, he couldn't move the blood fusion crystal in the slightest. Retreat! Right at this moment, the sapling warned. Without another word, Ning Yu stomped on the ground and quickly retreated. Rumble! Just as Ning Yu retreated, the Stone Nation and Venerable Bali's powerful attacks arrived and landed squarely on the blood fusion crystal. Crack! A crisp sound rang out. The blood fusion crystal that Ning Yu couldn't move no matter how hard he tried remained unmoved. This situation was clearly out of Ning Yu's expectations. Although the blood fusion crystal didn't move, there were some changes to it. The outermost layer of the blood fusion crystal fell off, revealing its interior. What? Ning Yu's expression changed. He couldn't stop his body from trembling. Ning Yu had just advanced to the initial grade 6 human supreme not long ago. Both his perception and eyesight had improved significantly. With Ning Yu's influence, he naturally noticed the small line of words on the blood fusion crystal. Slaughtering heaven and earth formation. Ning Yu's pupils constricted. He immediately used all his strength to leave the 3 stone cave. In his previous life, Ning Yu had witnessed the ferocity of the slaughtering heaven and earth formation when he was in the Earth Supreme realm. It could be said that if an Earth Supreme was trapped in the slaughtering heaven and earth formation, his chances of survival would be close to 0. Has this kid lost his mind? Has he lost his mind? Seeing Ning Yu rush into the battlefield, the Stone Nation and Venerable Bali were a little dumbfounded. The aftermath of their battle was terrifying. How could a grade 6 human supreme like Ning Yu not only know how to dodge, but also come in and join the battle? What was wrong with this world? Swish, 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 swish. Suddenly, 4 blood-red crystals appeared in the void. The 4 red crystals instantly embedded themselves into the wall of the 3 stone cave. Rumble. Chapter 1301. What? Shit. Not good. In the beginning, the Stone King and Venerable Bali thought that Ning Yu had lost his mind. But the sudden change left them dumbfounded. The crimson aura in the surroundings made their faces change, especially Venerable Bali, who was enraged at this moment. He turned around and hollered at the Stone King. So you've been scheming all along. How bold of you. Venerable Bali's attainments in spiritual arrays were profound, so he could tell that they were trapped by the spiritual array with a glance. Furthermore, this spiritual array was extremely terrifying. It was the Heaven Annihilating Grand Array. The Heaven Annihilating Grand Array was one of the 10 great slaughtering arrays in ancient times. Even with Venerable Ba Li's attainments and spiritual arrays, he felt a little despair facing this terrifying spiritual array. Even I didn't know that there's a heaven-annihilating grand array here. The Stone King also felt sullen. As the king of the Three-Stone Cave, he had lived here for hundreds and thousands of years, but he didn't know that there was a heaven-annihilating grand array here. You didn't know? Venerable Bali looked at the Stone King in doubt. You have to think this through. Once the heaven-annihilating grand array is activated, it has to be broken within half an hour. Otherwise, not even a greater Earth Sovereign would be able to survive. Venerable Bali didn't believe the Stone King's words. His perception had been on the Stone King. As long as the Stone King wanted to break the spiritual array, he wouldn't be able to escape his perception. As for Ningyu, he had been neglected by Venerable Bali. After all, Ningyu's cultivation was only at the initial 6th grade sovereign realm, and his attainments in spiritual arrays were extremely low. So it was impossible for him to break the heaven-annihilating grand array. Arg! My eyes! My arms, my legs, what the hell are those? Roar! Retreat! At this moment, Stone Beast and Dan Shi, who were closer to the cave entrance, let out hysterical screams. Whoosh! 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 Suddenly, several crimson streaks shot out. Those crimson streaks were extremely terrifying, and the Stone Beast and Pellet Puppet were struck at the same time. The dead were dead, and the injured were injured. Dan Shi and the Stone Beast, who were fortunate enough to survive, cast aside their previous grudges and worked together to resist the cold, blood-colored light. Then, they slowly moved toward the entrance of the cave. Stay here and don't move. Seeing Stone Beast and Dan Shi's actions, Venerable Bali shouted loudly, wanting to stop them. However, this was a critical moment of life and death, and the dawn was right in front of them. How could the Stone Beast and Dan Shi give up? Stone King, quickly tell the Stone Beast to stop there, Bali said anxiously. Pu. Venerable Bali's voice came to a screeching halt. This was because he saw that there were more and more blood-colored cold lights at the entrance of the Three-Stone Cave, enveloping many pill puppets and stone beasts. The blood-colored cold light blocked their eyes, making it impossible for them to see what was happening within the cold light. It's over, it's over. This time, we've really been completely wiped out. Venerable Bali collapsed to the ground and said weakly, those cold lights dealt with the stone beasts and pill puppets outside first. Next, they will definitely come to deal with us. What do you mean? The Stone King was puzzled. Those cold lights are the attacks of the Heaven and Earth Annihilation Great Array. They will gradually push forward until all the living beings within the array are refined. Only then will they stop. Since he knew that they didn't have much time left, Venerable Bali explained, if I'm not wrong, those blood-colored lights will disperse in 3 minutes at most. When that time comes, it will be our time of death. Swish! Venerable Ba Li's guess was right. 3 minutes later, the blood-colored cold light at the entrance of the Three-Stone Cave had completely dispersed. Pill Puppet and Stone Beast were all dead in the place where the blood-colored light had disappeared. Not a single one of them survived. Plop! Obviously, the king of the Stone Nation was in despair. So many half-step Earth Sovereign Stone Beasts didn't even have the chance to retaliate. He might be a first-grade Earth Sovereign, but he asked himself if there was any way out. The answer was clearly no. Ah, Venerable Bali, is there really no way out? The Stone King sighed. We are powerful Earth Sovereigns. There's no reason for us to be trapped here. Powerful Earth Sovereigns? Haha, let me tell you the truth. Even a high-level Earth Sovereign wouldn't be able to survive this array that trapped us. Venerable Bali laughed bitterly. Swish! At this moment, several cold lights appeared in the void again. The cold lights were divided into 3 parts. The first was to deal with Venerable Bali. The second was to deal with the Stone King. As for the third part, it was to deal with Ningyu. We can't just sit here and wait for death. Although the Stone King and Venerable Ba Li seemed a little dispirited, they still burst forth with astonishing fighting strength in the face of death. For a moment, they were on par with the blood-colored cold lights. What's going on? Could it be that the array has been idle for years and has loosened? Venerable Ba Li was puzzled. The heaven and earth annihilation great array could adjust the power of the blood-colored cold lights according to the strength of the trap cultivators. Against earth sovereigns, the heaven and earth annihilation great array would adjust the power of the blood-colored cold lights to the level of a fifth-grade earth sovereign. It didn't make sense for a fifth-grade earth sovereign's blood-colored cold light to be so weak. Stone King, attack the blood-colored cold light with all your might. Who knows, we might have a chance to leave this place. Venerable Ba Li shouted. He clenched his right hand into a fist and punched one of the blood-colored cold lights. Crack! As expected, Venerable Ba Li's guess was right. His all-out attack had actually shattered the blood-colored cold radiance. Seeing that Venerable Ba Li had succeeded, the Stone King's confidence soared, and he began to attack the blood-colored cold light. Damn it! Why are these cold lights so difficult to deal with? The blood-colored cold light that was used against Venerable Ba Li and the Stone King was not particularly heaven-defying, but the blood-colored cold light that was used against Ning Yu was heaven-defying to the extreme. Even with all his might, Ning Yu could not destroy a single cold light. Sapling, is there any way to deal with these blood-colored cold lights? Ning Yu had no choice but to ask the sapling for help. There is a way, but I need your help, the sapling said. What kind of help? Ning Yu asked. Capture the cold lights and put them into the interspatial ring. Drip a drop of blood essence on each cold light, the sapling warned. Remember, you must drip your blood essence on them. Otherwise, even I won't be able to deal with them. Let's go all out. Ning Yu stomped on the ground and swung the red demon, sword in his hand. In an instant, two blood-colored cold lights were forced to the side of the interspatial ring by Ning Yu. Drip! Drip! Left with no choice, Ning Yu forced 2 drops of blood essence onto the blood-colored cold lights. Whoosh! Shortly after, the blood-colored cold lights were wrapped by a branch and brought into the interspatial ring. Keep up the good work. The sapling's voice sounded in Ning Yu's ears. This method is feasible. Just follow it, and you'll be able to deal with the blood-colored cold lights sooner or later. All right. Chapter 1302. Whoosh! Whoosh! Within the storage ring, the sapling continued to refine the blood-colored frosty light with the help of Ning Yu's blood essence. If Ning Yu were here, he would definitely be shocked. The sapling refined the frosty light and extracted 2 drops of liquid from it. One of the drops was swallowed by the sapling, while the other was fused with Ning Yu's blood essence. The frosty light was very special. Each and every one of them contained an enormous amount of energy. The sapling believed that it would be able to recover to its peak state as soon as possible. When that time came, it and Ning Yu would be able to sweep through everything in its path. At the very least, the Stone King and the Lord of Ba Li would be no match for them. However, the current situation required Ning Yu to continuously force out the frosty light and drip his blood essence onto it for the sapling to refine. Time was ticking away. 10 minutes passed in the blink of an eye. Whoosh! Whoosh! On the other side, the Stone King and the Lord of Ba Li both heaved a sigh of relief. After 10 minutes of intense battle, the two of them had finally dealt with all of the frosty light. What is Ning Yu doing? The Stone King and the Lord of Ba Li didn't dare to relax in the slightest. They turned to look at Ning Yu. The Stone King and the Lord of Ba Li were dumbfounded at the sight of Ning Yu absorbing the frosty light. Has he lost his mind? The Lord of Ba Li thought that Ning Yu had lost his mind. After all, Ning Yu's expression was becoming more and more unsightly until it was completely devoid of blood. Ning Yu, you'd better find a way to destroy these frosty lights. Otherwise, when they explode, you'll be blasted to pieces. The Stone King reminded him out of goodwill. In truth, the Stone King's warning to Ning Yu wasn't out of goodwill, but rather because he was afraid that he would be harmed by the explosion of the frosty light. After all, he and Venerable Ba Li had dealt with the blood-colored cold light in front of them. Now that they had a rare break, no one wanted to make a mistake. Ning Yu remained unmoved and continued to quickly collect the blood-colored cold light. Humph! How stubborn! The king of the Stone Nation said coldly. Ningyu still didn't react and continued to collect the blood-colored cold light. The king of the Stone Nation only dared to scold Ningyu verbally, but he didn't dare to go over. Although the blood-colored cold light Ningyu was facing was relatively weak, who knew if it would suddenly become stronger? At this time, it was better to think about himself first. The Stone King and Venerable Bali sat down cross-legged and began to recuperate. 3 more to go. As time passed, the number of blood-colored rays in front of Ningyu decreased. 3, 2, 1. Soon, Ningyu stored all of the blood-colored cold light into his storage ring. Thump! When the last blood-colored cold light disappeared, Ningyu sat on the ground and panted heavily. Success! Not long after Ningyu sat down, the sapling's excited voice entered his ears. Success! Hearing this, Ningyu was taken aback at first. Then he abruptly sat up from the ground and exclaimed, "You refined all of the blood-colored cold light?" "Yes, and I've also recovered to my peak condition." As it spoke, the sapling returned all of Ningyu's blood essence to Ningyu. "This is your blood essence. I've injected all of the energy contained in the blood-colored cold light into your blood essence. If you refine this blood essence, your cultivation will improve even further." Whoosh, 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 several drops of blood essence flew out from the storage ring. Without a word, Ningyu opened his mouth and sucked them all into his mouth. After sucking in the blood essence, Ningyu hurriedly used the spirit transformation technique to refine his blood essence. Buzz! As Ningyu continued to refine the blood essence, his aura also underwent some changes. When Ningyu was at the bottom of the lava, the dark golden blood in his heart flowed, allowing him to successfully advance from a 5th-grade human supreme to a 6th-grade human supreme. Now that Ningyu was refining the blood essence, his cultivation was completely stabilized. Even his sea of consciousness was loosening. Bang! Not long after, when the dull sound was heard, Ningyu suddenly opened his eyes, and his aura disappeared in a flash. A 6th-grade intermediate human supreme. At this moment, Ningyu benefited from the disaster, advancing from a 6th-grade initial human supreme to a 6th-grade intermediate human supreme. Rumble! At this moment, the entire 3-stone cave began to shake. The frequency of the 3-stone cave's shaking was very high, and the rocks above the cave began to fall. Crack! Moreover, not only did the rocks above the 3-stone cave fall, even the ground began to crack. The cracks on the ground grew larger and larger, until a huge crack appeared. Not good. The moment the crack appeared, Venerable Ba Li and the Stone King's faces drastically changed, and they hastily retreated. Swish! However, Venerable Ba Li's speed of retreat was clearly slower by half a beat. A huge palm shot out from the crack, grabbed Venerable Ba Li, and dragged him into the crack. Crack! Then, the crack closed up, and everything returned to normal. Gulp! Ningyu and the Stone King swallowed a mouthful of saliva at the same time. The huge palm from before made their hearts palpitate. Ningyu and the Stone King could clearly sense that the owner of the huge palm was at least a high-level Earth Supreme. Exchanging glances, the Stone King and Ningyu could see the seriousness in each other's eyes. For a moment, the cave became quiet, and neither Ningyu nor the Stone King broke the silence. Their eyes flickered as they thought of a countermeasure. Sapling, can we leave this place? Ningyu communicated with the sapling. If we stay here any longer, we will face the same fate as Venerable Bali. It's troublesome, the sapling said with a grave expression. If I've guessed correctly, the cultivator underground has suffered grave injuries. His current strength is only at the Earth Supreme realm, far from the Heavenly Supreme realm. Ningyu's face changed. Even in an injured state, that person still possessed the strength of an Earth Supreme. So one could imagine how terrifying the other party would be once he fully recovered. You don't have to worry too much. The slaughtering heaven and earth annihilation array is used to trap that cultivator. The sapling continued. If he dares to come out later, you and the Stone King will attack together and make him pay the price. He's trapped by the slaughtering heaven and earth annihilation array. Ningyu is briefly stunned. What a terrifying person to be able to unleash such a powerful strength despite being trapped in the slaughtering heaven and earth annihilation array. Ningyu, I think we should work together, the Stone King suddenly said. Suddenly, the nearby Stone King said in a deep voice, even someone as powerful as Bali was captured by that giant hand, let alone you. What do you mean? Ningyu asked without batting an eyelid. It's simple. I'll give you a Dharma artifact. When the rift appears, pretend to be captured by the giant hand, and when the rift is about to close, give the hand a fatal blow. As he spoke, the Stone King spat out a small stone. Waving the stone in his hand, the Stone King said, "This is a stone essence. There's only one in the entire Tri-Rock Mountain. Throw it into the hand of the underground expert and kill him along with his body." Chapter 1303. Chapter 1303. Stone Essence, Stone Essence. Ningyu's eyes widened as he stared at the emerald green stone in the Stone King's hand. Stone Essence was an extremely precious energy stone. Many famous mountains might not even be able to produce a single stone essence, but the Three-Stone Mountain was able to. This truly shocked Ningyu. Ningyu could clearly feel that the stone essence in the Stone King's hand contained a terrifying amount of energy. Once he refined it, he could easily advance to the late-stage 6th grade Human Supreme. What do you think? Think about it. This is our last chance to survive. Seeing Ningyu's shock, the Stone King continued, "Don't worry, I'll help you. As long as you throw the stone essence into the hands of the underground expert, he'll definitely die." "How many stone essences do you have?" Ningyu asked. He did not agree to the Stone King's request immediately. "If you can give me another piece of stone essence, I might be able to agree to it." "I don't have any more." The Three-Stone Mountain only produced one stone essence. The Stone King shook his head and said, "I was saving this stone essence for my breakthrough to the 2nd grade Earth Supreme. Since we're in danger, I won't keep it to myself. I'll use it directly." Ningyu's face darkened as he weighed the pros and cons. Say yes. Just then, the sapling's voice rang in Ningyu's ears. Ningyu did not think too much and said, "Stone King, throw the stone essence to me." "I'll do as you say." "Not now. I'll throw the stone essence to you when the crack appears again." The Stone King did not trust Ningyu. He said, "Also, I'll throw the stone essence in the crack. Your task is to catch it and throw it into the hands of the underground expert." "No problem." After leaving behind these words, Ningyu no longer spoke and tightly closed his eyes. Losing a stone essence in exchange for half an hour. It's totally worth it. The king of the Stone Nation had a cold expression on his face. The cultivators in the outside world did not know that aside from the stone beast, there was also an extremely powerful demonic beast on Three-Stone Mountain. Three-legged golden crow. A few decades ago, a three-legged golden crow descended upon the Three-Rock Mountain. At that time, the three-legged golden crow was seriously injured. The Stone King mobilized all the demonic beasts in the Three-Rock Mountains to find all kinds of treasures for the golden crow to recover. Decades passed in the blink of an eye. The three-legged golden crow finally sent a weak message asking for the whereabouts of the Stone King. This was the message the three-legged golden crow had sent. The Stone King was delighted and quickly told the three-legged golden crow what had happened. The result was obvious. The three-legged golden crow told the King of Stone to hold on for half an hour, and he would arrive at the Three-Stone Cave within half an hour. The King of the Stone Nation trusted the three-legged golden crow. Decades ago, the heavily injured three-legged golden crow had easily defeated the king of the Stone Nation. When the three-legged golden crow arrives at the Three-Stone Cave in half an hour, I'll be able to leave safely. The Stone King's eyes lit up and he thought to himself, the three-legged golden crow doesn't know that Ningyu has the sapling of the Tree of World. That's my advantage. The entire Three-Stone Cave suddenly became quiet. The silence was extremely terrifying, since the slaughtering heaven and destroying earth formation isolated everything. Not a single breath of air could enter the Three-Stone Cave. As time went by, Ningyu and the Stone King began to feel the pressure. Even though they were peerless overlords, it was still difficult for them to not breathe for a long time. Boom! Suddenly, the ground caved in and a huge crack appeared again. Just like last time, a huge hand emerged from the ground and quickly grabbed at Ningyu. Ningyu's expression changed drastically. He shouted, "Stone King, throw the stone essence to me." "Throw it to you? Are you kidding me?" The Stone King was overjoyed to see the hand reaching for Ningyu. The reason why the Stone King wanted to give the stone essence to Ningyu was that he wanted Ningyu to stall for half an hour so that the hand could deal with Ningyu. After all, the hand's first target was Lord Bali, and the Stone King was afraid that he would be the second target. Now that the hand's second target was Ningyu, he naturally wouldn't give the stone essence to Ningyu. "You're going back on your word," Ningyu said coldly. "So what if I'm going back on my word? As long as I can survive, I'll do anything." "Oh no." The corner of the Stone King's mouth rose. He was about to mock Ningyu when he saw something that terrified him. The huge hand suddenly stopped in front of Ningyu, turned around and grabbed at him. "I'm going back on my word." The Stone King trembled in fear. Ningyu stopped the hand. "I'll throw the stone essence to you." As he spoke, the Stone King flipped his wrist and tossed the stone essence at Ningyu. "Pa!" Catching the stone essence firmly, Ningyu shrugged. "Go down and accompany Lord Bali." You're going back on your word, Ningyu." The king of the Stone Nation turned pale with fright and regret. If he had known earlier, he would have thrown the stone essence to Ningyu instead of waiting until now. Now, he was caught by the huge hand and couldn't move. "It's not that I'm going back on my word. You're the one who broke our agreement first. I'm just giving you a taste of your own medicine." Ningyu quickly retreated to a corner. "Lord Bali must be lonely down there. If you go down and accompany him, he'll probably be happier." The Stone King was enraged and struggled to break free from the huge hand. However, no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't move an inch. Blood sprayed from his mouth. In the end, the Stone King sank into the ground with a venomous expression. Crack! The fissure closed again, and everything returned to normal. Whoosh! At this moment, the sapling sprang out of the storage ring. "Give me the stone essence." The first thing the sapling said when it came out was to ask for the stone essence. "What do you want the stone essence for?" Ningyu was confused. He didn't know what the sapling wanted. "Of course I want to break the heaven and earth slaughtering formation." The sapling snapped. "Thank God you have the stone essence, and the heaven and earth slaughtering formation is already unstable. Otherwise, you'll never be able to leave this place. I didn't expect you to know how to break the heaven and earth slaughtering formation." Ningyu tossed the stone essence to the sapling. "Do you know how to set up the heaven and earth slaughtering formation as well? As long as I have enough materials, I can set up the simplest heaven and earth slaughtering formation." The sapling replied, "Our top priority is to find a way to break the formation as soon as possible. We can't stay here for long because I can sense that there's an extremely terrifying being on its way here at full speed." "An extremely terrifying existence?" Ningyu was stunned and asked in bewilderment. "That being is even more powerful than the powerful being trapped underground." The sapling said, "Don't worry about that for now. It's best if you leave." "Not good." The sapling's words came to an abrupt halt. Crap! The sapling transformed into an afterimage before disappearing into the storage ring. Chapter 1304. Chapter 1304. Chapter 1304. Golden Flame. The cultivators underground were extremely powerful. They could easily deal with the Stone King and Supremacy Ba Li with a single palm strike. And the existence in the outside world was actually comparable to the experts in the underground world. Rumble. Before Ning, you could recover from a shock. The entire three-stone cave began to shake violently. Bang! In the end, a huge beam of light appeared from the top of the three-stone cavern and forcefully blasted a hole in it. Xiao! A golden figure quickly emerged from the gap. Three-legged golden crow. Seeing the figure that suddenly appeared, Ningyu's expression changed. Ningyu would never have thought that the expert mentioned by the sapling was the three-legged golden crow. The three-legged golden crow was an ancient ferocious beast with extremely powerful strength. Although the three-legged golden crow in front of him had not reached the peak of its power, it still gave Ningyu a terrifying sense of oppression. Where is the king of the stone nation? The three-legged golden crow looked around and asked Ningyu. Down there. Ningyu knew that the three-legged golden crow was very powerful, and it was not a good time to start conflict with him. As long as the three-legged golden crow did not attack Ningyu, Ningyu would not make the first move. Knitting his brows, the three-legged golden crow's face instantly turned cold. The stone monarch is an earth sovereign, while you're only a middle phase 6th grade sovereign. How did you survive and the stone monarch was killed? This, Ningyu did not know how to answer. He couldn't say that the underground king was powerful, and that was why the underground king fought him, right? If that was the case, Ningyu was certain that he would die in the next second. Speak. The three-legged golden crow shone brightly and pressed down on Ningyu, saying, "If you can't satisfy me today, you can go to hell in advance." Pucci. Under the pressure of the three-legged golden crow's powerful aura, Ningyu's knees felt sore, and he had the urge to kneel down. Not long ago, a giant palm suddenly appeared from the ground and killed the Earth Supreme in the pill cauldron, then the Stone King. Ningyu gritted his teeth and said, "As for why he didn't kill me, it might be because he saw that my cultivation was low and the energy I had was small, so he didn't want to waste time." That seems to make sense. The three-legged golden crow nodded slowly and said, "Go and lure the powerhouse out. I want to see what he's capable of." Gulp. Ningyu swallowed a mouthful of saliva. The strength of the underground expert was extremely terrifying. He could kill the Stone King and the venerable Bali with a single hand. Provoke him? This was no different from courting death. "I wanted to spare your life, but since you don't know what's good for you, I can only send you to hell." With a low roar, the three-legged golden crow opened its mouth and spat out a golden flame. The golden flame was about the thickness of an arm, and its burning power was extremely terrifying. Sizzle. The surrounding air sizzled as it was burned by the golden flames. Even the void began to tremble slightly. Myriad Beast Flame. At the critical moment, Ningyu flicked his sleeve and summoned the Myriad Beast Flame. Myriad Bone Flame. After some thought, Ningyu summoned the Myriad Bone Flame and combined it with the Myriad Beast Flame to confront the golden flame spat out by the three-legged golden crow. The three terrifying flames clashed in the slaughtering heaven and earth annihilation array. The three-legged golden crow raised an eyebrow and stared at the Myriad Beast Flame and Myriad Bone Flame with interest. The flames ranked 29th and 30th on the mystical flame ranking. "Looks like you're not an ordinary cultivator." Swish! The three-legged golden crow then recalled the golden flame and said to Ningyu, "Give me the Myriad Bone Flame and Myriad Beast Flame for free, and I will spare your life." Ningyu's face darkened. He did not answer the three-legged golden crow immediately. He had already kept the Myriad Beast Flame and Myriad Bone Flame as his natal flame. If he handed them over to the three-legged golden crow, he would suffer great harm. If he did not hand them over, the three-legged golden crow would definitely start a massacre. Things were getting more and more troublesome. If I forcefully merge the Myriad Beast Flame and Myriad Bone Flame together, I wonder if the explosive power will be able to withstand the three-legged golden crow. Ningyu murmured, "Let's do it." Ningyu was not an indecisive person. He immediately recalled the Myriad Beast Flame and Myriad Bone Flame. One hovered above his left hand, while the other hovered above his right. "Very well. You're the first cultivator I've killed since I came out of seclusion." The three-legged golden crow's face was expressionless as he said, "I want everyone to know that I, the three-legged golden crow, have once again." However, the three-legged golden crow's expression changed slightly as he quickly retreated. Whoosh! In the blink of an eye, the crack on the ground widened once again. When the crack had widened to a certain extent, a giant palm slowly stretched out from the ground. "What? Sky. Sky Supreme." The three-legged golden crow's expression changed drastically when he saw the sudden appearance of the palm. Although the three-legged golden crow was powerful, his cultivation was far from that of a sky supreme. If the owner of the palm had the strength of a sky supreme, then the three-legged golden crow might have fallen in the three-stone cave. No, his strength has dropped. He's far from the sky supreme level. The three-legged golden crow's fiery eyes quickly discovered the problem. Oomph. I'll chop off your palm. Let's see how you're going to play tricks then. With a cold snort, the three-legged golden crow flapped his wings, and a cold light flew out, slashing at the giant palm. Ding! The giant palm did not manage to dodge in time and was struck by the cold light. It was knocked back several feet. Buzz! After its attack failed, the giant palm did not linger. Instead, it quickly rushed toward the crack. Ningyu, follow that palm. The anxious voice of the sapling rang in Ningyu's ears. Ningyu was taken aback at first. Then, without any regard for the consequences, he stomped on the ground and charged toward the crevice at an astonishing speed. Not good. The three-legged golden crow's expression changed slightly when he saw Ningyu dashing out. He barked coldly. Trying to escape from me? I'll sacrifice you alive. The three-legged golden crow let out a roar and flapped his wings as he charged toward Ningyu. Whoosh! In the nick of time, a green branch shot out from the storage ring and blocked the three-legged golden crow's path. The World Tree. How powerful was the three-legged golden crow? He knew a thing or two about the World Tree. There was even a giant branch of the World Tree among the three-legged golden crows. However, that branch of the World Tree had completely lost its vitality. The branch that appeared now still possessed a terrifying vitality. The three-legged golden crow was overjoyed. He laughed wildly. I didn't expect to find something as good as the World Tree after coming out of seclusion. This trip was not in vain. Go! The three-legged golden crow's eyes turned cold. He opened his mouth and spat out a golden flame. Compared to the golden flame from before, the temperature of the flame this time was even higher and more powerful. Whoosh! However, it didn't matter how powerful the golden flame was. Ningyu and the giant palm quickly entered the crack, and the crack also disappeared. Chapter 1305. Kuan Peng Ferocious Art. Damn it. The three-legged golden crow's expression changed. The might of the blood-colored gleam was terrifying. Even though it wasn't enough to deal with the three-legged golden crow alone, it was still difficult for the three-legged golden crow to deal with it in large numbers. To think that a tattered great formation of annihilation would possess such terrifying might. Taking a deep breath, the three-legged golden crow put on a solemn expression. He temporarily forgot about everything else and focused on dealing with the blood-colored gleam. Pooh! The three-legged golden crow pointed out with his finger and a blood-colored gleam exploded. Whoosh! The three-legged golden crow dashed out and swallowed the blood-colored gleam with its mouth wide open. Not bad. Nodding his head in satisfaction, the three-legged golden crow struck out once more to fight against the blood-colored gleam. As a peerless expert of the three-legged golden crow tribe, the three-legged golden crow had a thorough understanding of the great formation of annihilation. He knew that the blood-colored gleam within the great formation of annihilation not only possessed great offensive power, but could also aid one's cultivation. After all, the energy required to set up the great formation of annihilation was simply too great, and the energy consumed would be converted into blood-colored gleam to deal with the experts trapped in the formation. Bang! At the same time, Ningyu, who was in the crevice underground, felt the world spinning around him, causing him to vomit bile. Ouch! Falling heavily onto the ground, Ningyu's eyes turned white, and his mind became more and more dazed. Wake up! At this moment, the shout of the sapling reached Ningyu's ears. Ningyu snapped out of his daze when he heard that. He looked around in confusion. At this moment, Ningyu was in a slightly spacious room surrounded by darkness. Even though it was pitch black, Ningyu's sharp senses allowed him to detect a peerless expert sitting on a chair not too far away from him. There was no fluctuation of yuan qi from him at all. Voila! Suddenly, several crystals appeared on the surrounding walls, illuminating the originally pitch-black room with incomparable brightness. SSS. The room was bright, but Ningyu sucked in a cold breath. Not far away, a martial artist with disheveled hair sat on a chair with an indifferent expression. The warrior's arms and legs were pierced by a golden flying sword. The most terrifying thing was that there was also a golden flying sword piercing through the warrior's heart. It's a little off. Ningyu's perception was extremely strong, and he quickly discovered the problem. Although the golden flying sword had pierced through the warrior's heart, it was still half a finger away from the real heart. In other words, as long as the flying sword deviated by half a finger, this martial artist would definitely die. I can feel it. You can save me. The cultivator on the chair raised his head, looked straight at Ningyu, and said, "Save me, and I will give you a great opportunity." Ningyu said nothing. Ningyu was very clear that the reason why this martial artist did not kill him was definitely because he could be of some help. Otherwise, with this martial artist's current state, he would definitely die. This martial artist's vitality was fading quickly. If he had not devoured and refined Ba Li and the Stone King, he would have fallen apart long ago. Even so, this martial artist should not be able to hold on for long. He had to pull out the red flying sword from his heart. First, let me introduce myself. I am Kuin Peng Daoist. The martial artist on the chair shook his hair vigorously, revealing a slightly weathered face. As long as you can save me, I can swear to the heavens that I will give you a great opportunity. I can even let you directly ascend to Earth Supreme. Kuin Peng Daoist stared straight into Ningyu's eyes. What are you waiting for with such a rare opportunity? Sha. Kuin Peng Daoist's words seemed to have a great magical power, causing Ningyu to move slowly. Wake up! When Ningyu was 4 or 5 steps away from Kuin Peng Daoist, the sapling suddenly shouted. Swish! Ningyu immediately woke up and couldn't help but take a few steps back. Sound wave technique. Eye technique. The old man had just used the sound wave technique and eye technique, causing Ningyu to uncontrollably move forward to help the old man pull out the golden flying sword. Kuin Peng Daoist raised his eyebrows when he saw that his eye technique and sound wave technique did not have much of an effect on Ningyu, revealing a hint of doubt. But very quickly, this trace of doubt disappeared. In exchange, it was a look of ecstasy. I can swear to the heavens that as long as you can help me pull out the golden flying sword, I promise to give you a great opportunity. Kuin Peng Daoist chose to take a step back. You are currently a mid-stage, 6th grade human supreme. Once you help me pull out the golden flying sword, I can give you a blessing and let you directly ascend to a 7th grade human supreme. Also, I can help you get rid of the 3-legged golden crow outside to ensure your safety. In the beginning, Kuin Peng Daoist had wanted to devour Ningyu. This was because he had been severely injured during the fight with the 3-legged golden crow, causing his strength to drop by several times. If not for the blood-colored cold light blocking the 3-legged golden crow, the 3-legged golden crow would have immediately charged over and taken his life. Therefore, Kuin Peng Daoist wanted to devour and refine Ningyu before forcing the golden flying sword out of his arm. Only then would he have the ability to fight against the 3-legged golden crow and not be killed so quickly. You used your eye technique and sound wave technique on me just now. I can't believe you. By now, Ningyu had already seen some clues. This Kuin Peng Daoist could not move for a short period of time. He could not even use his giant palm. Otherwise, his injuries would worsen and he would die sooner. I can swear to the heavens. Kuin Peng Daoist said, the heavens' oath has a terrifying restriction on all living beings. As long as I swear to the heavens, I will definitely not dare to play any tricks. Ningyu still shook his head and said, don't bother with those empty words. Give me some benefits first, like letting me advance to the late phase 6th grade sovereign realm, or even the pinnacle phase 6th grade sovereign realm. Kuin Peng Daoist's face darkened. There was something that could allow a mid-stage 6th grade supreme to advance to the late-stage 6th grade supreme in a short period of time, but it was not in the 3-stone cave. The entire three-stone cave was only used by a peerless expert to trap Kuan Peng Daoist. The truly good stuff had all been plundered clean, and only a few remained. How about this? I'll teach you a martial technique. Kuan Peng Daoist said. What martial technique? If the level is too low, don't. Ningyu said with a hopeful expression. Kuan Peng ominous skill. Kuan Peng Daoist interrupted Ningyu and slowly uttered 4 words. The so-called Kuan Peng ominous skill was created by a powerful ancient Kuan Peng and was known as one of the top 10 ancient skills. Ningyu did not expect Kuan Peng Daoist to know the Kuan Peng ominous skill. How about it? If you help me pull out the golden flying sword, I'll teach you the Kuan Peng true skill. Chapter 1306. The Sandpiper and the Clam Fight, Rock Ominous Art. Ningyu's expression changed. The Kuan Peng ominous art was an extremely domineering martial skill, and its power was extremely strong. As for the exact level of the Kuan Peng ominous art, no one knew because very few people had cultivated the Kuan Peng ominous art. If you successfully cultivate the Kuan Peng ominous art, you can even fight against a pinnacle 9th grade human sovereign. The Kuan Peng Jinren tempted him and said, "As long as you help me pull out the flying sword from my heart, I will teach you the Kuan Peng evil art." You sure have a good plan. Ningyu said, "You have to give me some benefits first, or I will never help you pull out the golden flying sword." Ningyu was no fool. From the golden flying sword, he felt a heart-palpitating aura. This aura was exceptionally terrifying. According to Ningyu's guess, the golden flying sword in Kuan Peng Dao's heart was not inferior to the red demon sword. Rumble. Suddenly, the room shook, and it became more and more intense. Not good. Perfected being Kuan Peng's expression changed drastically as he said hurriedly, "Relax your mind. I'll teach you the Kuan Peng ferocious art right now." The reason why the room was shaking was because the 3-legged golden crow had broken free and devoured all the blood-red cold light. The 3-legged golden crow's combat prowess increased once again after refining and devouring the blood-colored light. With the increase in strength, the 3-legged golden crow naturally had to deal with venerable Kuan Peng. "Do you think I'm a 3-year-old? Ningyu knew that Kuan Peng Jinren was worried, but he remained calm and said, "If I'm not mistaken, you have a Kuan Peng bone on you, and the Kuan Peng ominous art you've mastered is on that bone." Whoosh! Kuan Peng Daoist's face instantly darkened. What kind of freak was Ningyu? Or was the 3-legged golden crow outside on the same side as Ningyu? The more venerable Kuan Peng thought about it, the more he felt that it was possible. At the same time, his expression changed as he looked at Ningyu. "Don't overthink it. There is no relationship between me and the 3-legged golden crow. In fact, that 3-legged golden crow is still thinking of how to kill me." How could Ningyu not know what Kuan Peng was thinking? He waved his hand and said, "Hand over the Kuan Peng bone and swear to the heavens that you cannot attack me no matter what. Otherwise, I will not help you pull out the golden flying sword." "All right, I promise you." Kuan Peng Daoist had no other choice. Gotcha. The void cracked and a palm-sized bone flew out from Kuan Peng Daoist's chest and landed in front of Ningyu. "Sapling, check if there's anything wrong with the Kuan Peng bone." Ningyu was not stupid enough to touch the Kuan Peng bone with his bare hands. He began to contact the sapling and let it inspect the Kuan Peng bone. "There's a problem. There's an extremely special medicinal liquid on the Kuan Peng's bones. As long as you come into contact with it, you'll lose a layer of skin even if you don't die," the sapling replied. "Do you have a way to get rid of it?" Ningyu asked. "Throw the Kuan Peng bone into your storage ring." "I'll try." The sapling did not give a definite answer. It only said that it wanted to give it a try. No problem. Ningyu controlled the Kuan Peng bone into his storage ring. Kuan Peng Daoist saw Ningyu's extremely careful movements, and a cold expression appeared in his eyes. However, he concealed this expression very well, and Ningyu didn't notice it. "Can you help me pull out the golden flying sword now?" Kuan Peng Daoist hid the ferocity on his face and said, "The 3-legged golden crow will be here in 3 minutes. If I can't recover by then, we will all die here. What do you want me to do? Ningyu also knew the severity of the problem. At this time, he could not fight with Kuan Peng Daoist. He had to help Kuan Peng Daoist pull out the golden flying sword first. If I'm not wrong, you should have the war god body. Force a drop of blood essence out and drip it on the golden flying sword. Then use all the strength in your body to pull it out. Kuan Peng Daoist's words were filled with excitement. His true body had been fixed here by the golden flying sword for hundreds of years and was also refined by the heaven and earth annihilation formation. All these years, he was lucky that he had a strong will and a strong vitality in his body. Otherwise, he would have died a long time ago. How could he not be excited now that he had a chance to leave? Sure, Ningyu forced a drop of blood essence out and rushed out at the same time, arriving in front of Kuan Peng Daoist in the blink of an eye. Drip! The blood essence dripped onto the golden flying sword. Then, Ningyu's right hand quickly grabbed the golden flying sword and tried to pull it out with all the strength in his body. Swish! All of a sudden, an unexpected change occurred. An extremely domineering force burst out of the golden flying sword and sent Ningyu flying. Can't I do it? Ningyu frowned. He was not in a hurry to pull the golden flying sword out for a second time. Instead, he was thinking of countermeasures. Time passed quickly, and Kuan Peng Daoist was extremely anxious. The three-legged golden crow was about to attack, which meant that he had less and less time. Again, stopping on the ground, Ningyu charged out. A golden light appeared on his right hand as Ningyu grabbed the golden flying sword and pulled it out forcefully. Green veins popped on his arm. Dark golden blood flowed rapidly from Ningyu's heart and gathered on his right arm. Come out! With a roar, Ningyu grabbed the golden flying sword and pulled it out. Swoosh! Fresh blood splattered in the void. Crack! At the same time, the three-legged golden crow broke through the defenses set up by Kuan Peng Daoist and charged in. Without a word, Ningyu retreated with the golden flying sword. The three-legged golden crow was a ruthless one. There was no hope of Ningyu winning against it, and only death awaited him. Three-legged golden crow, how dare you behave so atrociously here? Die! After the golden flying sword left his heart, Kuan Peng Daoist's aura surged to an extremely terrifying level. At that moment, Kuan Peng Daoist's aura far surpassed that of the three-legged golden crow. A gigantic palm appeared and slapped towards the three-legged golden crow. The power of that palm was immense. If the three-legged golden crow was unlucky enough to be struck, it would be crippled even if it did not die. Oof. You can't even leave your seat. How are you going to fight me? The three-legged golden crow was not afraid at all. With a cold harumph, it spat out a golden flame from its mouth. Chi! The golden flame shone brightly and collided with the gigantic palm. The terrifying shockwave did not appear when the two collided and dissipated quickly. Three-legged golden crow, perhaps we can make a deal. After that move, Kuan Peng Daoist did not attack again. Instead, he said, if we continue to fight like this, there will definitely be no way to determine the victor. In fact, we might even be the fisherman who benefits from the fight. As he spoke, Kuan Peng Daoist's gaze shifted and he glanced at Ningyu. Kuan Peng Daoist's intention was self-evident. He wanted to use the three-legged golden crow to kill Ningyu. After all, he had sworn a heavenly Tao oath not to attack Ningyu. Otherwise, the consequences would be unimaginable. Chapter 1307. Persuasion, Killing with a Borrowed Knife? The three-legged golden crow glanced at the golden flying sword in Ningyu's hand and looked at Kuan Peng perfected being's heart. He, if I'm not wrong, he was the one who pulled out the golden flying sword for you. Not only did you not want to protect him, you want me to kill him. Tis TSK. Looks like you're not a good person either. Those who achieve great things don't care about trifles. Kuan Peng perfected being was not embarrassed at all. It's easy to enter the array of annihilation, but difficult to leave. Without my help, you won't be able to leave. You're saying that I can't leave the array of annihilation? The three-legged golden crow smirked. The array of annihilation is already broken. I can come and go as I please. Don't get cocky. Even I can't leave, let alone you, Kuin Pong perfected being said. Tell me, what are you willing to pay? The three-legged golden crow looked at Kuin Pong perfected being with interest. If you can kill him, I'm willing to tell you how to leave the array of annihilation, Kuin Pong perfected being said. I repeat, whether I want to leave the array of annihilation or not depends on whether I want to. The three-legged golden crow looked unfriendly. If you can't show me enough sincerity, I don't mind killing you first. Kuin Pong ominous skill. Kuin Pong perfected being seemed to have made a big decision. He gritted his teeth. He has a Kuin Pong bone. If you can kill him, the Kuin Pong bone will belong to you. What? The three-legged golden crow finally lost his cool after hearing Kuin Pong perfected being's words. He also wanted to learn the Kuin Pong ominous skill. Also, as a three-legged golden crow, he would be able to learn the Kuin Pong ominous skill with half the effort. I'll believe you this once. The three-legged golden crow stomped on the ground and disappeared. Crack! In the next moment, the space in front of Ning Yu split open. The three-legged golden crow's giant claws reached for his neck. The three-legged golden crow was ruthless and didn't hold back at all. A terrifying wave of essence chi emerged from the three-legged golden crow's claws. Xiao! At this critical moment, a branch shot out from the storage ring and clashed head-on with the three-legged golden crow's claw. Kacha! Kacha! A crisp sound rang out as the three-legged golden crow rapidly retreated with a dark expression. One of the three-legged golden crow's claws was dangling, obviously broken. As for Ning Yu's side, a small branch fell to the ground, its vitality quickly disappearing. World Tree. Kuan Peng's eyes were very sharp. Seeing a small broken branch on the ground, his pupils shrank and he exclaimed, "It's the World Tree." At this moment, Kuan Peng Daoist's breathing quickened. If he had the World Tree, he could even quickly recover to his peak state after escaping. Good, very good. You are the first person to injure me since I came out of seclusion. The three-legged golden crow stared fixedly at Ningyu with a gloomy gaze and said, "Today, I'll let you know that the three-legged golden crows are not to be disrespected." Wait. Ningyu took a step forward and said coldly, "Kuan Peng Daoist already knew that I have the World Tree on me. Then I set you up. Don't you want to kill Kuan Peng Daoist first? After I kill you, I can still kill Kuan Peng Daoist." The three-legged golden crow yelled. That might not be the case. Ningyu took a step forward and said loudly, "Kuan Peng Daoist is extremely cunning. He used my strength to force the flying sword out of his heart. If I'm not wrong, he's trying to force the other 4 flying swords out now. Kuan Peng Daoist can fight you just by forcing 1 flying sword out. From this, it can be seen that once he forces the other 4 flying swords out, you won't have a good time. Furthermore, it won't be that easy for you to kill me. In order for me to hold you back, Kuan Peng Daoist has already taught me the real Kuan Peng Daoist technique." The three-legged golden crow's expression was gloomy as he struggled internally. He wanted to attack Ningyu and obtain the World Tree and Kuan Peng Daoist technique, but he also wanted to kill Kuan Peng Daoist first. "All right, I'll believe you this once." The three-legged golden crow was a little wary of Ningyu. After all, Ningyu had made him suffer quite a bit. In addition, the fact that Ningyu was able to survive until now after being trapped in the Annihilation Array really surprised him. The three-legged golden crow turned around and charged at Kuan Peng Daoist. "Sapling, hurry up and activate the stone essence. We must leave this place as soon as possible." Seeing the three-legged golden crow charging at Kuan Peng Daoist, Ningyu's nervous heart eased a little. The battle between the three-legged golden crow and Kuan Peng Daoist would not end so quickly. This time difference was the only chance for Ningyu and the sapling to leave this place. They cannot miss it. I'm thinking of a way. Don't rush me. In order to block the powerful attack of the three-legged golden crow for Ningyu, the sapling broke a small branch, causing its vitality to be greatly damaged. Boom! In a not-too-big room, Kuan, Peng Daoist, and the three-legged golden crow were fighting while Ningyu was dodging left and right. There were a few times when Ningyu was almost hit by the powerful aftershocks. The three-legged golden crow and Kuan, Peng Daoist both had the powerful combat power of a high-level Earth Supreme. If it were someone else, they would have died long ago. There was no way they could have lasted until now. Drip, drip. Time was ticking away. Ningyu dodged left and right in the narrow room and was surrounded by danger. The battle between Kuan, Peng Daoist, and the three-legged golden crow was getting more and more intense. Kuan, Peng Daoist might still have 4 golden flying swords, but his strength was no weaker than the three-legged golden crow. What the hell is this golden flying sword? It can stop Kuan, Peng Daoist. As Ningyu dodged, he split his perception to study the golden flying sword that he had taken from Kuan, Peng Daoist. Ningyu, let me devour the golden flying sword. I can upgrade the red fiend sword. Suddenly, the red fiend's voice entered Ningyu's ears. Ningyu was stunned, and he said, "Are you sure?" For a long time, the red fiend had been hiding in the deepest part of the red fiend sword in order to cultivate and increase his strength. Only now did the red fiend contact Ningyu after seeing the golden flying sword. "I'm sure. The red fiend sword is a devouring flying sword. It could devour everything." The red fiend explained, "That golden flying sword is an extremely high grade. It's at least a supreme grade emperor. If the red fiend sword can devour it, its power will increase by a level." "How long will it take? Do I need to prepare anything?" Ningyu asked with a frown. It was very dangerous now. Ningyu didn't want anything to happen to the red fiend. Very soon, the soul imprint in the flying sword is already very weak. It could dissipate at any time. The red fiend said, "Give me a few minutes and I'll be able to refine it." "No problem, but you have to be careful. Once there's danger, you have to stop immediately," Ningyu said in a deep voice. As he spoke, Ningyu threw the golden flying sword to the red fiend. Chapter 1308. Attack. Boom. Although Kuan Peng perfected being could not leave his chair, he could still unleash a shocking amount of combat power. The three-legged golden crow did not gain any advantage. On the contrary, the three-legged golden crow was gradually losing. Kuan Peng perfected being, you've completely infuriated me. The three-legged golden crow's expression darkened after destroying the giant palm that Kuan Peng perfected being had conjured. I'll let you know what cruelty is. As he spoke, the three-legged golden crow opened his mouth and spat out a golden flame. The golden flame that the three-legged golden crow spat out was so dazzling that Kuan Peng perfected being could not look at it directly. Now's the time. The three-legged golden crow seized the rare opportunity and flapped his wings quickly, fanning the golden flame toward Kuan Peng perfected being. Chi! The scorching flames roasted the space until it cracked. You're still too young to kill me. Kuan Peng perfected being bellowed and raised his hands abruptly. His sinister eyes stared straight at the three-legged golden crow as his expression turned extremely ferocious. Go! As Kuan Peng perfected being said that, the golden flying sword in his arm suddenly flew out and charged at the three-legged golden crow at an extremely shocking speed. Oh no! The three-legged golden crow was not stupid. He naturally knew how powerful the golden flying sword was. The three-legged golden crow immediately turned its head around and started to dodge. The golden flying sword could even stop Kuan Peng perfected being. One could imagine how terrifying its power was. Swoosh! However, it was clearly too late for the three-legged golden crow to dodge. The golden flame that he spat out was sliced in half by the flying sword. Although the golden flame blocked one of the flying swords, the other broke free and instantly arrived in front of the three-legged golden crow. Damn it! The three-legged golden crow cursed inwardly and had to use his sharp claws to grab the golden flying sword again. Bang! This time, the three-legged golden crow was fully prepared. He did not hesitate to gather all the energy in his body into his claws so that he could grab the golden flying sword. Even though the three-legged golden crow was fully prepared, The outcome was not as expected. The golden flying sword sliced through the three-legged golden crow's claws. It turned its head and charged at Ningyu. F***CK. The sudden change caused Ningyu to be dumbfounded, and he had a feeling that he was going to die. Could it be that because he had obtained the first golden flying sword, the other flying swords wanted to return to their ancestry, so they flew towards him? No matter what, Ningyu would definitely not sit and wait for death. He hurriedly communicated with the Red Fiend, wanting him to activate the Red Fiend's sword to deal with the golden flying sword. Relax your mind. That golden flying sword was lured here by me. I want to refine it along with him. The Red Devil's voice sounded in Ningyu's mind. Ningyu was even more dumbfounded. In the end, it was the Red Fiend who had seduced the golden flying sword. Since the Red Fiend had said so, Ningyu opened up his mind and allowed the golden flying sword to fly towards him. He lost his mind. To Kuan Peng Daoist and the three-legged golden crow, Ningyu's action was no different from losing his mind. That was a golden flying sword that could injure the three-legged golden crow. You, a mere sixth-grade human supreme, did not dodge at all? What else could it be if he had not lost his mind? Good for you. Kuan Peng Daoist raised his eyebrows. He was in a surprisingly good mood. In fact, with Kuan Peng Daoist's strength, he could definitely injure or even kill the three-legged golden crow. However, he knew that he could not make a move now. He had to endure. The peerless powerhouse who had set up the annihilation of heaven and earth formation had yet to appear, so he could not expose his strength too early. The Kuan Peng Bone on Ningyu was his trump card. He had to get it no matter what. Although I've made a heavenly oath not to attack you, this flying sword has nothing to do with me if it attacks you after passing through the three-legged golden crow's claws. Although Kuan Peng Daoist was powerful, he did not want to be tainted by the heavenly oath. Otherwise, he would have killed Ningyu long ago and taken back the Kuan Peng Bone. Why would he wait until now? I want to see if the branch of the world tree will appear again. The three-legged golden crow stared at Ningyu, wanting to see if the branch of the world tree would appear again. Swoosh! When the golden flying sword was a finger's length away from Ningyu's forehead, it stopped and floated in the air. Ningyu was extremely nervous. He was afraid that the golden flying sword would suddenly appear and stab him in the forehead. Swish! At that moment, the storage ring shone brightly. The golden flying sword in front of Ningyu's forehead changed direction again and flew straight into the storage ring. Open! Ningyu was overjoyed and quickly opened the storage ring. The golden flying sword disappeared into the storage ring under the shocked gazes of Kuan Peng Daoist and the three-legged golden crow. How is that possible? This change was clearly out of Kuan Peng Daoist and the three-legged golden crow's expectations. Both Kuan Peng Daoist and the three-legged golden crow knew how terrifying the golden flying sword was. Could it be? Did Ningyu have a Dharma treasure that could restrain the golden flying sword? Kuan Peng Daoist's face burned with excitement. The golden flying sword was the main Dharma treasure that was used to set up the annihilation formation. If Ningyu had something that could restrain it, he could even face that powerful being head-on if he snatched it away. No wonder he was able to pull out the golden flying sword in my heart. Kuan Peng Daoist murmured. Kuan Peng Daoist had been refining the flying sword in his heart for many years. Although he had expended all of its sharpness, it was impossible to pull it out without some skills. It would be difficult to succeed if he relied solely on Ningyu's war god body. Kuan Peng Daoist was too excited earlier and did not think in that direction. Now that he saw Ningyu controlling the golden flying sword again, his mind became active. Ningyu, think of a way to get the other three golden flying sword from Kuan Peng Daoist. As long as I can refine them, the Red Demon Sword will be able to unleash shocking combat power in a short period of time. At that moment, the Red Demon's voice was transmitted into Ningyu's mind. Ningyu revealed a strange expression when he heard that. To be honest, it was not realistic for him to snatch the golden flying sword from Kuan Peng Daoist. If Kuan Peng Daoist was willing, the three-legged golden crow would not and would definitely interfere. That was because once Kuan Peng Daoist's remaining 3 flying sword were pulled out, his combat power would increase by several times. At that time, how could the 3-legged golden crow fight against Kuan Peng Daoist? However, Ningyu was the weakest here. He thought about it and turned to look at Kuan Peng Daoist, sending a voice transmission. Can you force the 3 flying swords out of your body and hand them to me? What? Kuan Peng Daoist's eyes widened as he looked at Ningyu in disbelief. On the surface, Kuan Peng Daoist looked shocked, but he was actually extremely excited. The fact that Ningyu could say such a thing meant that he definitely had a Dharma treasure that could restrain the golden flying sword. Kill Ningyu? Join forces with Ningyu? For a moment, Kuan Peng Daoist was in a dilemma. If he wanted to kill Ningyu, he would have to pay a terrible price. Furthermore, he could not do it himself. Chapter 1309. Black-robed cultivator. What should I do? Perfected being Kuan Peng's expression was grim as he struggled internally. To perfected being Kuan Peng, his next decision might determine whether he could successfully escape. After all, the expert who set up the annihilation formation was extremely powerful. Let's work together. Before long, perfected being Kuan Peng made his decision. He would work together with Ningyu. It was too risky to kill Ningyu. If Ningyu's Dharma treasure contained a powerful soul imprint, and he could not control it within a short period of time, wouldn't he be doomed? Therefore, working together with Ningyu was the best decision. I can't force out the other 3 flying swords by myself. I need your help. Perfected being Kuan Peng began to communicate with Ningyu, hoping to reach an agreement with Ningyu. Perfected being Kuan Peng was wary of Ningyu as well. Of course, if he had not sworn a heavenly Tao oath, he would definitely not be wary of Ningyu. How can I help? Ningyu knew that perfected being Kuan Peng was tempted and asked calmly. Work together. Just like the first time, pull out the flying swords. Perfected being Kuan Peng sent a voice transmission. No problem. As he spoke, Ningyu moved towards perfected being Kuan Peng. Stop. The 3-legged golden crow was not stupid. Although Ningyu and perfected being Kuan Peng were talking through voice transmissions, he could tell from the changes in their expressions that something was amiss. Ningyu wanted to help perfected being Kuan Peng force out the flying swords on his body. The 3-legged golden crow would not let that happen no matter what. Rumble. Boom. Suddenly, the room shook once more and it was getting more intense. Oh no, he's coming. Perfected being Kuan Peng had a horrified expression as he said hurriedly, "Hurry, come over and help me pull out the flying swords on my body." At that point, perfected being Kuan Peng could not be bothered with voice transmissions anymore as his words landed in the 3-legged golden crow's ears. Who is it? The 3-legged golden crow asked in shock. The shaking of the room not only shocked Kuan Peng Daoist, but also caused the 3-legged golden crow's expression to change drastically. The 3-legged golden crows had extremely powerful senses. At that moment, the 3-legged golden crow sensed a terrifying existence that was about to tear through the void and appear. This change made the 3-legged golden crow very uneasy. A 3-legged golden crow actually came in. Kacha! The void split open, and a figure dressed in black landed in the room. Hiss! Ningyu and the others sucked in a breath of cold air when they saw the sudden appearance of the black-clothed cultivator. Strong. He was simply too strong. According to Ningyu's speculation, the black-clothed martial artist's strength was even stronger than the combined forces of Kuan Peng Daoist and the 3-legged golden crow. Who are you? The 3-legged golden crow said coldly, feeling very upset at the black-clad cultivator's scrutinizing gaze. Who am I? Hee, you dare to ask me who I am after breaking into the heaven-slaughtering and earth-shattering formation that I've set up? The black-clothed cultivator pointed at his nose and said with a calm smile, "My clone happens to lack a mount. Come, be my mount." You want me to be your mount? How presumptuous! The 3-legged golden crow was infuriated. It immediately flapped its wings and charged at the black-clothed cultivator. Bang! The black-clothed cultivator pointed his right hand into the air, firing an icy glow that collided with the three-legged golden crow. The three-legged golden crow was sent flying like a kite with a broken string, slamming heavily into the wall. Poochie! The three-legged golden crow spat out a mouthful of fresh blood. Its face turned extremely pale. I'll give you one last chance, be my mount. Otherwise, I'll roast you alive, the black-clothed cultivator said calmly, but his tone was firm. Gotcha! The three-legged golden crow clenched his teeth. He was a peerless genius of the three-legged golden crow tribe, yet he had ended up like this. He was first injured by Kuan Peng Taoist master, and now he was being suppressed by the black-clothed cultivator. If the three-legged golden crow tribe were to learn about this, he would most likely be utterly humiliated. May I ask who Senior is? The three-legged golden crow asked with glittering eyes. Don't think I don't know what you're thinking. Don't worry, I'm quite close to the old golden crow. I'm only asking you to be my mount for a few days. I won't hurt you. The black-clothed cultivator waved his hand and said. The three-legged golden crow was astounded. One must know that the king of the three-legged golden crow clan was a genuine heavenly sovereign. If the black-clothed cultivator knew the ruler of the three-legged golden crow tribe, didn't that mean he was a heaven supreme too? The three-legged golden crow clenched his teeth in fear. I'm willing to be Senior's mount, but I hope Senior won't seal me away. Why would I seal you away? Go away. I have something to discuss with Kuan Peng Taoist master. The black-clothed cultivator was left speechless. He ignored the three-legged golden crow and glanced at Kuan Peng Taoist master. Whoosh! When the black-clothed cultivator looked at Kuan Peng Taoist master, Kuan Peng Taoist also looked at him. Their gazes collided and sparks flew everywhere. Puff! Kuan Peng Taoist master was defeated and spat out a mouthful of blood. Kuan Peng Taoist master, you're still the same after so many years. The black-clothed cultivator said, hand over the Kuan Peng bone and I can spare your life and let you stay here. The Kuan Peng bone was taken away by someone 10 years ago. It's not with me, Kuan Peng Taoist master said coldly. It seems that you've forgotten how powerful I am after not fighting for so many years. The black-clothed cultivator took a deep breath and stretched out his right hand. It gradually enlarged and grabbed at the Kuan Peng array formation. Boom! Kuan Peng Taoist also stretched out his palm and touched the black-clothed cultivator's palm. Bang! The two collided, and Kuan Peng Taoist master took a few steps back. On the other hand, the black-clothed cultivator stood on the spot and did not move. You can block my attack and not fall to the ground? The black-clothed cultivator was surprised. The palm strike that he released earlier on was extremely powerful. Given Kuan Peng Taoist master's current state, something was wrong. Suddenly, the black-clothed cultivator's pupils constricted, and his gaze shifted to where Kuan Peng Taoist master's heart was. The black-clothed cultivator clearly remembered that he had thrown out 5 golden flying swords back then, and one of them was stabbed into Kuan Peng Taoist master's heart. The other flying swords might have been forced out by Kuan Peng Taoist master. However, there was no way he could force out the golden flying sword at his heart. No. The black-clothed cultivator's perception was extremely powerful, and he discovered the problem before long. He sensed an extremely familiar aura from Ningyu. The golden flying sword. The golden flying sword must be with Ningyu. The black-clothed cultivator's gaze was cold as he glared at Ningyu. You were the one who helped Kuan Peng Taoist master force the flying sword out? SH*T. When the black-clothed cultivator looked at Ningyu knew that he was doomed. The black-clothed cultivator was even stronger than Kuan Peng Taoist master. It was extremely dangerous to be targeted by him. It's all thanks to Kuan Peng Taoist master. It has nothing to do with me. Ningyu hurriedly distanced himself from the black-clothed cultivator. At this moment, he could not go against him. Fufu. The black-robed cultivator stared at Ningyu with interest. His lips curled up in a smile as he said, "Stop hiding it. I can feel an aura from you." It is an extremely familiar aura. Chapter 13:10. Shocking picture, hand over what? I have no idea what you mean. Ning Yu's heart violently trembled, but he maintained his composure on the surface. I'm only a 6th grade middle phase human sovereign, while you're an Earth sovereign. How could I possibly have anything that you're interested in? You won't shed a tear until you see the coffin. The black-clothed martial artist moved, approaching Ning Yu step by step. As the black-clothed cultivator advanced, he released some of his aura and pressed it down on Ning Yu. Although the black-robed cultivator was only a clone, his strength had reached the Earth Supreme realm, making him extremely powerful. With Ning Yu's strength as a 6th grade intermediate human supreme, he was naturally unable to withstand the pressure of his aura. Kaka! A crisp sound came from his knees. Ning Yu tried hard not to kneel down. Whoosh! The black-clothed cultivator flicked his wrist, and a golden flying sword appeared in his hand. Waving the golden flying sword in his hand, the black-clothed cultivator said, I don't mind telling you that my flying sword is called the Golden Demon Sword. Golden Demon Sword? Ning Yu was puzzled. His flying sword was called the Red Demon Sword, while the black-robed warrior's golden flying sword was called the Golden Demon Sword. Could there be some connection between the two? Hand over the flying sword on you, or I'll send you to hell. The black-clothed martial artist waved the flying sword and pointed it at Ning Yu. So you wanted the Red Demon Sword, not the sapling. Ning Yu secretly heaved a sigh of relief. If the black-clothed martial artist wanted the sapling, he had no other way. Now that the black-clothed cultivator wanted to obtain the Red Demon's Sword, Ning Yu instantly had an idea. Red Fiend, how much combat power can the Red Fiend Sword unleash now? Ning Yu began to contact the Red Fiend, wanting to know how much combat power the Red Fiend Sword could unleash. I'm not a match for that black-clothed cultivator. Even escaping is a little difficult. Red Fiend said, if we can devour the remaining golden flying swords, escaping won't be a problem. How much time do you need? I might be able to help you. Ning Yu rolled his eyes and asked. Instant. The Red Fiend gave an affirmative answer. Senior, the Red Demon Sword is indeed with me. Ning Yu organized his thoughts and said, I have a request. Right now, the Red Demon Sword is at a critical stage of its breakthrough. Could you force out a few flying swords from the Kunpeng Jinren for it to devour? Sure, the black-clothed martial artist said without hesitation. Then, the black-clothed martial artist quickly waved the golden flying sword in his hand. Buzz, buzz, buzz. As the black-clad cultivator waved the golden flying sword in his hand, the 3 flying swords on the Kunpeng sage trembled continuously. Xiao! 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 Soon, the 3 flying swords left Kunpeng Daoist and charged towards Ning Yu at a terrifying speed. Xiao! Just as the 3 flying swords arrived in front of Ning Yu, the Red Devil controlled the Red Devil Sword to fly out and meet the 3 golden flying swords. Come here. All of a sudden, something strange happened. The black-clothed martial artist's figure flashed, and he quickly charged towards the Red Devil Sword. He opened his hand and wanted to snatch the Red Devil Sword. Kunpeng Sage, if you don't make your move now, when will you? At the critical moment, Ning Yu shouted. Kunpeng ominous technique. Kunpeng Sage knew the severity of the problem. He stomped on the ground and waved his hand repeatedly. In an instant, the weather changed and gusts of chilly wind blew. A huge wing tore through the void and appeared, colliding with the black-clothed martial artist's palm. Crack! When the two collided, the black-clothed martial artist's hand broke and dissipated between heaven and earth. Kunpeng Sage's wing did not fare much better. It swayed in the air for a while and dissipated as well. With Kunpeng Sage's interference, the 3 flying swords were all devoured by the Red Devil Sword. Boom! Just as the Red Devil Sword had said, if it could devour the remaining 3 flying swords, the Red Devil Sword's power would increase exponentially. An extremely terrifying aura emanated from the Red Devil Sword, intimidating one's mind. Killing intent. The black-clothed martial artist hurriedly retreated with a gloomy expression. The Red Devil Sword was similar to the Golden Devil Sword. They had Both killed several peerless experts, so the killing intent on them was extremely terrifying. The black-clothed martial artist had not come with his true body, so he was wary of the killing intent. Three-legged golden crow, go and snatch that red flying sword. Just because he was wary of the red devil sword did not mean that the black-clothed martial artist was helpless. He berated the three-legged golden crow. If you can help me snatch the red flying sword, I can let you go now. Seekin, can you change the condition? The three-legged golden crow could naturally sense the killing intent on the red devil sword. He even stuttered when he spoke. Scram. The black-clothed martial artist did not care about the three-legged golden crow's life. He kicked the three-legged golden crow far away. Kuan Peng Sage, if you want to live, do as I say. Seeing that the three-legged golden crow was about to reach him, Ningyu said coldly, stop the three-legged golden crow, or even kill it. Why should I listen to you? Kuan Peng Sage said, if you want to live, do as I say. Ningyu said in a deep voice, the red devil sword can only emit killing intent. It's not very powerful. Once the black-clothed martial artist sees through it, we'll all die. Swoosh. Kuan Peng Sage was not a pedantic person. Since Ningyu had already made it so clear, it did not make sense for him to be afraid. Right now, he and Ningyu were like grasshoppers tied to the same rope, people in the same boat. They were bound together for good or ill. Once Ningyu was killed, he would be next. Therefore, he had to help Ningyu. Kuan Peng murderous technique. With a low roar, Kuan Peng Sage stomped his right foot on the ground. Instantly, the ground shook and a huge crack appeared, charging straight at the three-legged golden crow. Oh no! Kuan Peng Sage was already more powerful than the three-legged golden crow. Now that he had forced out the three flying swords, his strength had increased greatly. The three-legged golden crow had no chance of winning against Kuan Peng Sage in his current state. Senior, save me. The three-legged golden crow shouted and turned back to ask for help. You go get the flying swords. I'll deal with Kuan Peng Sage. The black-robed cultivator took a step forward and stomped heavily on the crack, forcefully stopping it from moving forward. No problem. The three-legged golden crow heaved a sigh of relief when he saw the black-clothed martial artist stop Kuan Peng Sage. Ever since the black-clothed martial artist appeared, he had become the second strongest person in the room. He could only bully Ningyu now. Three-legged golden crow. Ningyu held the red devil sword in his hand, and dark golden blood flowed through his body. He stood on the spot like a god of war and berated. There are thousands of experts who have died in the hands of the red devil sword. Come if you're not afraid of death. Just as he held the red devil sword, shocking scenes appeared in Ningyu's mind. A white-clothed man holding the red devil sword was hovering above a city, fighting enemies from all directions. Under the setting sun, the white-clothed man looked so miserable. In the city, countless humans looked at the white-clothed man with hope. He was their hope of survival. Kacha! Suddenly, an arrow tore through the void and pierced straight at the white-clothed man's glabella. Boom! At this moment, Ningyu suddenly woke up. Chapter 13:11. The Great Escape / At that moment, Ningyu seemed to be possessed by the god of war as he slashed down with a red fiend sword. TSK. A mere 6th grade human supreme wants to fight me? With a weird laugh, the three-legged golden crow suddenly changed its direction and grabbed Ningyu's neck. The three-legged golden crow did not want to face the terrifying killing intent from the red fiend sword head-on. The three-legged golden crow's plan was simple. Capture Ningyu and force Ningyu to hand over the red fiend sword. That was the only way to solve the problem. Cut the crap. Ningyu's eyes flashed coldly as he disappeared like a ghost. Oh no! As soon as Ningyu disappeared, the three-legged golden crow's expression changed drastically as it tried to dodge. Crack! However, it was too late for the three-legged golden crow to dodge at such a close distance. A crisp sound was heard. The red fiend's sword slashed down on the three-legged golden crow's claw, chopping off one of its claws. Ah! The three-legged golden crow let out a hysterical scream. You. The three-legged golden crow stared at Ningyu with fear written all over his face. The three-legged golden crow finally reacted. It was not Ningyu who was fighting him, but the terrifying intent within the red fiend's sword. That intent was extremely terrifying. It was probably left behind by the first owner of the red fiend sword. Trash! The black-robed cultivator forced Kun Peng perfected back and rushed over. Fight! Ningyu's eyes darkened. With the red fiend sword in hand, he fought the black-robed cultivator without flinching. What? The three-legged golden crow's expression changed drastically when he saw that Ningyu could fight the black-robed cultivator. If even the black-clothed cultivator was defeated, then he would really die here today. Ningyu, don't get caught up in the fight. I'll break the annihilation formation. Just then, the sapling's voice reached Ningyu's ears. Ningyu was slightly disappointed. Ningyu had originally wanted to observe the battle between the two peerless experts. However, since the sapling already had a way to break the heaven-slaughtering, earth-exterminating formation, Ningyu had no choice but to give up. Rumble. After forcefully slashing out with his sword, Ningyu took several steps back. An extremely terrifying pillar of light soared into the sky from Ningyu's storage ring. Walala! The beam of light was as thick as a person's waist. It was so powerful that it blasted a hole in the heaven-slaughtering and earth-exterminating great array. Go! Ningyu did not stop. He used a secret technique to escape, raising his speed to the limit. Whoosh! Behind Ningyu, Kun Peng Daoist did not say anything. He turned into an afterimage and followed closely behind Ningyu. Seeing Kun Peng Daoist and Ningyu disappear, the three-legged golden crow looked terrified. It did not know whether to leave or stay. Wait for me outside the three-stone cave. I'll be out in a bit. The black-robed cultivator kicked the three-legged golden crows, and sent it out of the three-stone cave. It can actually activate the will left behind by its previous owner, as expected of the red demon sword. The black-robed cultivator waved his hands repeatedly, and then his entire body merged into the void. Crack, crack, crack. At this moment, the winds and clouds changed. The entire three-stone cave began to shake as if it was about to collapse. Whoosh! Before long, the three-stone cave really began to collapse. Even the heaven-slaughtering, earth-exterminating formation in the three-stone cave was quickly disintegrating. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Countless blood-colored beams of light rushed out from the broken heaven-slaughtering, earth-exterminating formation and entered the black-robed cultivator's body. These blood-colored beams of light contained terrifying energy, and each one was extremely precious. With so many blood-colored beams of light entering his stomach, the black-robed cultivator's body gradually became corporeal. Originally, the black-robed cultivator was only a clone and could only display limited combat power. Now that he had devoured so many blood-colored beams of light, the black-robed cultivator's combat power had increased by several times. He was very confident that if he met Kun Peng again, he could finish him off in a few moves. Swish! The black-robed cultivator did not linger in the three-stone cave for long. He leaped onto the three-legged golden crow's back and said in a deep voice, "Bring me to Kun Peng and the rest." I don't know where they are. The three-legged golden crow panicked and said hurriedly, "Don't worry, I'll tell you where to go." The black-robed cultivator said with an indifferent expression, "All right." Since the black-robed cultivator was willing to show the way, the three-legged golden crow could only flap its huge wings and search within Three-Stone Mountain. Sha! Sha! As the three-legged golden crow and the black-robed cultivator gave chase, Ningyu and Kun Peng Perfected had already left Three-Stone Mountain. As for the Dark Emperor and John Ba, Ningyu did not let them follow. After all, the black-robed cultivator and the three-legged golden crow's target was him, not them. Ningyu told the Dark Emperor and John Ba to think of a way to head to the Qinya Empire. He would appear there. The Dark Emperor and John Ba were not hotheads. They knew that they could not help Ningyu much even if they followed by Ningyu's side. Therefore, After bidding farewell, they immediately headed for the Qing Empire. Where are we going now? Along the way, Ningyu and Kuan Peng perfected fled continuously, pushing their speed to the limit. Originally, they thought that they could shake off the black-robed cultivator. Who would have thought that the moment they let down their guard, the black-robed cultivator would chase after them with a three-legged golden crow? Damn it, I have to think of a way to get rid of that three-legged golden crow. Kuan Peng perfected said, fiercely, extremely furious. The three-legged golden crow race had always been known for their speed. As long as there was a three-legged golden crow, the black-robed cultivator could keep up with them. What strength can you unleash? Ningyu said in a deep voice, wanting to probe Kuan Peng perfected strength. What are you trying to do? Kuan Peng perfected looked at Ningyu warily and said in a deep voice, we're in the same boat now. Are you going to kill each other? You're overthinking it. I want to know your strength, and be prepared to kill the three-legged golden crow. Ningyu said calmly. Let me put it this way. The black-robed cultivator can unleash the strength of a Grade 4 Earth Supreme. I can unleash the strength of a Pinnacle Grade 3 Earth Supreme. And the three-legged golden crow can only unleash the strength of an initial Grade 3 Earth Supreme. Kuan Peng perfected explained. After all, he was on the same side as Ningyu, so he had to tell Ningyu this useful information. No, they're too strong. There's no way we can kill the three-legged golden crow. Ningyu shook his head and said, what we need to do now is to leave this place as soon as possible, or find a safe place to hide. I know of a place. Kuan Peng perfected's face was gloomy, and he said, it's extremely dangerous there. There are all kinds of powerful demonic beasts, and even advanced Earth Supreme. Where is it? Ningyu asked. The empty secret realm. Kuan Peng perfected said. The empty secret realm? Ningyu was puzzled because he had never heard of such a place. The empty secret realm is extremely well hidden. Only those above the Earth Supreme level know of it. Kuan Peng perfected explained. With our speed, we'll definitely be caught by the black-robe cultivator and the three-legged golden crow. Why don't we enter the empty secret realm? Chapter 13:12. Chapter 13:12. Empty Secret Realm according to Kuan Peng Enlightened. Ningyu knew that Empty Secret Realm was extremely dangerous. Although Kuan Peng Enlightened had sworn not to hurt him, he would not have a good ending if he was targeted by demonic beasts in the Empty Secret Realm. Whoosh! While Ningyu was thinking, the black-robed martial artist and the three-legged golden crow tore through the void and caught up again. Damn it, let's go to Empty Secret Realm. Ningyu gritted his teeth and said fiercely, Empty Secret Realm is 20,000 miles away from here. We need to hurry. Kuan Peng Enlightened said and tore through the void, even burning his blood essence to increase his speed. Damn! Ningyu had the urge to curse. The Emptiness Mystery Realm was actually 20,000 miles away from here. One should know that anything could happen on this journey. Let's go. Although he was angry, Ningyu did not dare to be careless. He wrapped Yuan Qi around his ankles and disappeared in an instant. Buzz! Not long after Ningyu and Kuan Peng Enlightened disappeared, the void in the area cracked, and the three-legged golden crow and the black-robed martial artist appeared. They just left not long ago. Continue the chase. The black-robed martial artist stared at the void and then slapped the three-legged golden crow, causing it to shriek in pain. The three-legged golden crow had no choice but to increase its speed to the extreme and give chase. Although the three-legged golden crow and the black-robed martial artist were fast, they could not catch up to Ningyu and Kuan Peng Enlightened. After all, anyone could burst out with shocking speed in the face of death. 20,000 miles was very far. Even Ningyu and Kuan Peng Enlightened, who had vigorous Yuan Qi, could not reach that distance in one go. Along the way, they stopped from time to time and even killed a few powerful demon beasts that didn't have eyes. Moreover, they caught a few flying demonic beasts as their mounts. However, the demonic beasts had limited Yuan Qi. They could only fly for a short distance before they could move forward. Just like that, Ningyu and perfected Kuan Peng fled in front while the black-clothed martial artist and the three-legged golden crow chased after them. Since Ning Yu and the others had pushed their speed to the limit, they only needed 1 day and 1 night to complete the journey of 20,000 kilometers. When he arrived at the entrance of the empty secret realm, Ning Yu collapsed to the ground, his body weak. If it weren't for Ning Yu's strong willpower, it would have been difficult for him to persevere in the long-distance high-speed flight. Gotcha! However, just as Ning Yu and Kuan Peng perfected stopped, the void behind them suddenly split open. You guys are pretty fast. Ning Yu stared at the black-clothed cultivator and the three-legged golden crow as he spoke in a deep voice. Before you is the void secret realm. The moment you enter, even an Earth sovereign would die. A puny human sovereign like you wants to enter? The black-clothed martial artist crossed his arms and stared at Ning Yu with interest. I'll give you a chance. Hand over the red demon sword, and I'll spare your life. Don't be hypocritical. If you can spare my life, then the sun will rise from the west. Ning Yu regained his composure. He and perfected Kuan Peng were standing at the entrance of the void secret realm. They could enter the void secret realm as long as they moved. Ning Yu believed that the black-clothed martial artist wouldn't dare to act rashly for the time being. Haha, I mean what I say. The black-clothed martial artist smiled, still trying to convince Ning Yu. All right, as long as you kill the three-legged golden crow, I'll immediately throw the red demon sword to you. Ning Yu toyed with the red demon sword in his hand and pointed it at the three-legged golden crow. Swoosh! The three-legged golden crow's heart skipped a beat when Ning Yu pointed the red demon sword at it. It hurriedly looked at the black-clothed martial artist. The three-legged golden crow was well aware of the importance of the red flying sword to the black-clothed martial artist. The black-clothed martial artist would most likely give up on it and obtain the red flying sword. Senior, Ning Yu is a cunning person. You must not believe his words. The three-legged golden crow panted and said hurriedly, Are you serious? The black-clothed martial artist didn't even look at the three-legged golden crow. He stared at Ning Yu and said, Throw the red demon sword to me first. Once I'm sure that there's nothing wrong with the red demon sword, I'll immediately kill the three-legged golden crow. Haha, trying to get something without risking anything? Ning Yu smiled and said, How about this? We'll do it at the same time. I'll throw the red demon sword, and you kill the three-legged golden crow. No problem. The black-clothed martial artist agreed without hesitation. The three-legged golden crow's expression changed completely. It moved its feet, trying to leave the area. Be it the black-clothed martial artist or perfected Kuan Peng, they were both extremely powerful. If it stayed, it would only be a dead end. Come back. As soon as the three-legged golden crow moved, the black-clothed martial artist scolded, You should feel honored to exchange your life for the red demon sword. Don't worry, I won't kill you. I just want to use you as bait. At the same time, the black-clothed martial artist sent a voice transmission to the three-legged golden crow. Doesn't the three-legged golden crow tribe have a secret technique that can temporarily conceal one's vitality? When the time comes, you can just use it to deceive Ning Yu, right? Will that work? The three-legged golden crow was puzzled. No problem. I know the patriarch of the three-legged golden crow tribe. I won't hurt you. The black-clothed martial artist nodded and guaranteed. All right. The three-legged golden crow stopped and gritted its teeth. Ning Yu, I'll count to 3. I'll kill the three-legged golden crow, and you throw the red demon sword. The black-clothed martial artist looked at Ning Yu and said, 1, 2, 3. As soon as the black-clothed martial artist said 3, he raised his right hand and slashed at the three-legged golden crow's neck. The three-legged golden crow's expression changed, and it hurriedly tried to escape. Crack! However, the three-legged golden crow's speed of escape was clearly slower than the black-clothed martial artist's palm. With a crisp sound, the three-legged golden crow was slashed by the black-clothed martial artist's palm. It fell to the ground on the spot, dead. Swoosh! At the same time, Ning Yu quickly threw the red demon sword in his hand. It charged at the black-clothed martial artist at an astonishing speed. Ha! The black-clothed martial artist's expression was solemn as he held the red demon sword firmly in his hand. No, it's a fake red demon sword. Suddenly, the black-clothed martial artist's expression changed because he realized something was amiss. The flying sword in his hand was not the real red demon sword, but a fake. It was a replica. Ningyu, how dare you trick me? The black-clothed martial artist was enraged and shouted, I killed the three-legged golden crow, but you humph. Don't think that I don't know that the three-legged golden crow has a secret technique to hide its aura. If I'm not wrong, the three-legged golden crow is not dead yet. Ningyu snorted coldly, clearly noticing the problem. Kuan Peng perfected. What are our chances of winning if we fight them now? Ningyu turned to look at Kuan Peng perfected and asked, 10%. Kuan Peng perfected said, then what are we waiting for? Let's enter the empty secret realm. Ningyu's pupils constricted. He stomped on the ground and immediately rushed into the empty secret realm. As for Kuan Peng perfected, he did not stay idle either. He followed closely behind Ningyu and entered the empty secret realm. Swoosh! The three-legged golden crow woke up the moment Kuan Peng perfected and Ningyu entered the empty secret realm. Chapter 13:13. To the Qinya Empire. The black-clothed cultivator's face darkened. Let's go to the Qinya Empire. He felt humiliated after letting Ningyu and Kuan Pengzhen escape from under his nose. If he couldn't catch up to them and kill them, he would become a laughingstock. As for entering the empty secret zone, the black-clothed cultivator didn't even think about it. Firstly, the empty secret zone was extremely dangerous. A little carelessness could lead to death inside. Secondly, this was only a doppelganger with limited strength. It was only equivalent to a grade 4 Earth Supreme. In the empty secret zone, he couldn't be 100% sure that he could catch Ningyu. He chose to go to the Qinya Empire because there was only one exit from the empty secret zone, which was the Qinya Empire. As long as Ningyu and the others could come out of the empty secret zone, they would definitely appear at the exit of the Qinya Empire. Therefore, waiting there was the best choice for the black-clothed cultivator. Let's go! The black-clothed cultivator jumped onto the back of the three-legged golden crow and said in a low voice, Swoosh! The three-legged golden crow didn't dare to delay. It flapped its wings and flew toward the Qinya Empire. Shit! Inside the empty secret zone, as soon as Ningyu entered, he felt his vision go black. Then he lost consciousness. After an unknown period of time, when Ningyu slowly opened his eyes, his expression changed drastically and he let out a scream. Ningyu was in a very bad situation. At the moment, Ningyu was surrounded by a pack of hungry wolves. The weakest among them was an 8th-grade human sovereign, and there were even 2 half-step Earth sovereigns among them. Bloodthirsty mad wolves. Ningyu's expression changed. It wasn't because these wolves had high cultivation, but because they were bloodthirsty mad wolves. The bloodthirsty mad wolves had always been very united. If one dared to kill one of them, they would go all out against you until they killed you. Of course, the prerequisite was that the person was not particularly strong. After all, even bloodthirsty mad wolves would retreat if they encountered a strong opponent. Hello. Ningyu scratched his head and said, wanting to communicate with these bloodthirsty wolves. Roar. However, Ningyu's action of scratching his head was seen as a provocation by the bloodthirsty mad wolves. The bloodthirsty berserk wolves howled at the same time, causing Ningyu's expression to change drastically. Let's talk. Ningyu did not dare to fight with these bloodthirsty berserk wolves, for fear of accidentally injuring one of them. After all, the bloodthirsty berserk wolves in front of him seemed to have come out in full force, and there seemed to be no end to them. I wonder where Taoist Kuan Peng is. Ningyu began to curse in his heart. Kuan Peng Taoist was the one who suggested the empty mystic realm, so he definitely knew what was going on inside. Since he didn't warn him, it meant that he didn't have any good intentions and wanted him to die in battle. Don't let me find you, or I'll definitely cut you into pieces. Ningyu said viciously, then added in a low voice, that's if I become an Earth Supreme. Ningyu was very self-aware. With his current strength, there was no way he could fight against Taoist Kunpeng. Roar! Soon, Ningyu discovered something unusual. Although the bloodthirsty berserk wolves looked unfriendly, none of them dared to attack. Could it be because of the Kunpeng bone? Ningyu took out the Kunpeng bone from his storage ring and waved it in the air, trying to verify his theory. Whoosh! As expected, as soon as Ningyu took out the Kunpeng bone, the berserk wolves around him quickly retreated, not daring to come close. It really is because of the Kunpeng bone. Ningyu felt a weight lifted off his chest. Although the berserk wolves were terrifying, they were still a few levels lower than the Kunpeng. The Kunpeng's bones gave the bloodthirsty mad wolf a lot of pressure. How should I leave? Although the Kunpeng bone had forced the wolves to retreat, Ningyu was still worried. There were so many bloodthirsty berserk wolves around. He couldn't possibly hold the Kunpeng bone and move slowly. Could he? How troublesome. After thinking about it, Ningyu began to communicate with the law of space, wanting it to tear the void and take him away. However, the law of space seemed to have fallen into a deep slumber. No matter how Ningyu called out to it, it did not answer him. Sapling, what do we do now? Since the law of space could not wake him up, Ningyu decided to contact the sapling. These wolves seemed to be guarding something. The sapling was different from the law of space. It did not fall into a deep slumber. Guarding what? Ningyu was surprised. Something that could be guarded by so many bloodthirsty berserk wolves was definitely something good. It might even be some sort of treasure. It's best that you don't act rashly, because those wolves aren't easy to deal with. They're just the vanguard, and there are even high-rank Earth sovereigns within. The sapling warned, not allowing Ningyu to act rashly. High-rank Earth sovereign. Ningyu was finally moved. Although the Kunpeng bone could withstand the attacks of the bloodthirsty berserk wolves, it was useless against the bloodthirsty berserk wolves at the advanced Earth sovereign realm. Moreover, if the bloodthirsty berserk wolf knew that he had the Kunpeng bone, it would definitely come out to snatch it. Whoosh! Right at this moment, a huge figure appeared in front of Ningyu in the blink of an eye. 6th grade human sovereign. It was a bloodthirsty mad wolf with a huge body and a terrifying 1st grade Earth Supreme realm cultivation. The huge bloodthirsty mad wolf frowned slightly and stared at Ningyu. It asked in confusion, aren't cultivators below the Earth Supreme realm not allowed to enter? Why are there so many humans below the Earth Supreme realm in just one day? Did you come alone? The huge, bloodthirsty mad wolf stared at Ningyu for a while before asking. No, there's an old man with me. Ningyu answered honestly. What about the old man? The huge, bloodthirsty mad wolf continued. We got separated. We entered the empty secret realm together. When I woke up, I found myself here. My companion disappeared, Ningyu said. He wanted to get some useful information from the natives. That's right. It's normal for you to get separated. The Void Secret Realm is very special. Everyone who enters will be sent to different areas. The huge, bloodthirsty mad wolf waved its hand and said, You can leave now. Ningyu didn't expect the bloodthirsty mad wolf to let him leave. To be honest, Ningyu didn't want to leave for the time being. At the very least, he didn't want to leave before finding out how to leave the Void Secret Realm. What? Do you want to be a guest of the bloodthirsty mad wolf clan? Seeing that Ningyu didn't leave, the huge, bloodthirsty mad wolf stopped in its tracks and stared at Ningyu with interest. This is my first time entering the Void Secret Realm. I want to know how to leave. Ningyu said sincerely. He really wanted to leave. The Void Secret Realm was a place that only Earth Supreme experts could enter. As a mere 6th grade human sovereign, he definitely wouldn't be able to get anything out of it. Chapter 13-14. Poisoned. The empty secret realm is extremely dangerous. Only Earth Supremes are allowed inside. I'm just a human sovereign. Wouldn't I be courting death? Ningyu did not hide his thoughts and said seriously, You're interesting. The giant wolf stared at Ningyu again. At the same time, it sent out a part of its perception to probe Ningyu's secrets. Buzz. However, just as the giant wolf's perception reached Ningyu, a terrifying light emitted from Ningyu's body and devoured the wolf's perception. This change was clearly out of the wolf's expectation. Interesting, very interesting. The giant, bloodthirsty mad wolf waved its hand and said, "Start from here and head west until you reach a city. There's an altar in that city. Climb up the altar and you'll be able to leave." As it spoke, the wolf's figure flickered and flew into the distance. "Ningyu, follow him. There's something we need inside." Just as Ningyu was about to leave, the sapling's voice sounded in his mind. Hearing this, Ningyu was stunned at first. Then he said in a clear voice, "Senior Wolf, I've just arrived here and don't know much about this place. I wonder if I can wait here for a few days for my master to come?" Whoosh! The huge bloodthirsty berserk wolf instantly stopped, her brows furrowed in confusion. With a gloomy expression, the giant wolf finally nodded and said, "Follow me." "Thank you." Ningyu thanked him and followed closely behind the huge, bloodthirsty berserk wolf. It wasn't until they were far away that Ningyu realized how terrifying the bloodthirsty wolves were. Along the way, he and the giant wolf flew at full speed, and the ground was filled with bloodthirsty wolves. There must be tens of thousands of bloodthirsty wolves, right? In the empty secret realm, the bloodthirsty mad wolves are a major race. Perhaps sensing Ningyu's confusion, the giant, bloodthirsty wild wolf explained, "Today happens to be a big day for the bloodthirsty wild wolf tribe. So all the bloodthirsty wild wolves in the empty mystery land have come." Did something big happen to the bloodthirsty wolf clan? Ningyu frowned slightly, because he could see some worry in the bloodthirsty mad wolf's eyes. However, Ningyu was very calm. Ningyu and the others finally reached the deepest part of the forest after following the huge, bloodthirsty mad wolf for several minutes. In front of Ningyu and the others, there was a very luxurious palace. Ningyu was surprised. The bloodthirsty mad wolf clan actually had skilled craftsmen who could actually build such a majestic palace. "You rest here for now. I'll go get busy." After leading Ningyu to a room, the huge, bloodthirsty mad wolf moved towards the deepest part of the palace. "Sapling, why didn't I sense the aura of a high-rank Earth Sovereign?" After the huge, bloodthirsty mad wolf left, Ningyu carefully set up a soundproof array and asked, "Also, what's so interesting about this place?" "The reason why you didn't sense the aura of a high-rank Earth Sovereign is because all of them are in one place and their auras are isolated," the sapling replied. "As for what I'm interested in, just think about it. Could it be the branch of the World Tree?" Ningyu exclaimed. At the bottom of the Tristone Cave, the sapling had devoured a branch of the World Tree, causing its strength to soar to the first-grade Earth Sovereign realm. If it could devour and refine a second branch of the World Tree, one could imagine how strong the sapling would be. "Wrong. It's not the branch of the World Tree," said the sapling. "Not the branch of the World Tree? Then what is it?" Ningyu was puzzled. "I've said it before. If I want to increase my strength, I need the branch of the World Tree, or rather, I need treasures. Sigh, not to mention treasures. Even if there's a branch of the World Tree here, it has nothing to do with us. After all, there are high-rank Earth Sovereigns here." Ningyu sighed and felt a little regretful. This was the lair of the bloodthirsty Mad Wolf clan, so even if there were treasures here, it had nothing to do with them. Acting violently under the eyes of a high-rank Earth Sovereign, it would be extremely difficult. "Don't worry, those high-rank Earth Sovereigns are all poisoned," the sapling said confidently. "The poison in those high-rank Earth Sovereigns isn't an ordinary poison. If we don't treat them in time, they might die on the spot." "You're saying that we should wait here?" Ningyu's eyes widened. "That's right, we have to wait here. When those high-rank Earth Sovereigns die, we can go out and search for treasures. Wolves are coming." The sapling's expression changed. "Be careful, don't give yourself away." Creak. At this moment, the door was pushed open and the huge, bloodthirsty mad wolf walked in. However, this bloodthirsty mad wolf's expression was very ugly, as if he was troubled by something. "Follow me." The bloodthirsty mad wolf waved its hand at Ningyu. "I'll bring you somewhere. Someone wants to see you." "Someone wants to see me?" Ningyu was shocked. "Is there a human in this palace?" "There is indeed a human. The bloodthirsty mad wolf didn't hide anything. It's that human who wants to see you. All right, helpless. Ningyu could only nod and follow behind the bloodthirsty mad wolf. The bloodthirsty mad wolf led Ningyu around the palace, passing many rooms before stopping in front of a luxurious room. Green Wolf King. Could the human you mentioned be inside? On the way, Ningyu learned that the bloodthirsty mad wolf was called the Green Wolf King, the king of the bloodthirsty mad wolf clan. As for the high-rank Earth sovereign bloodthirsty mad wolves and the human, the Green Wolf King didn't say much. That's right. The Green Wolf King took out a golden medicine spoon and inserted it into the hole in the room. Crack! A crisp sound rang out, and the tightly shut door slowly opened. Ningyu hesitated for a moment before gritting his teeth and walking in. Hiss! As soon as he entered the room, Ningyu sucked in a breath of cold air. There were a total of 5 bloodthirsty mad wolves in the room. No, to be precise, there were 4 of them and a human girl. The 4 bloodthirsty mad wolves were all around the 6th rank Earth sovereign level. As for the girl, her cultivation wasn't very high. She was only a 7th rank human sovereign. A human girl and 4 bloodthirsty mad wolves in the same room. Ningyu couldn't help but overthink things. Put away your dirty thoughts. I called you here because I have something to tell you. A look of disgust appeared on the human girl's face. Take this crystal ball out and hand it to the current emperor of the Thousand Leaves Empire. As she spoke, she took out a crystal ball from her bosom and tossed it to Ningyu. You can leave now. Seeing Ningyu catch the crystal ball, the human girl said coldly, when you see the emperor of the Thousand Leaves Empire, he will give you a great opportunity. Ningyu frowned. He observed the crystal ball in his hand, but didn't leave. Why aren't you leaving? The human girl said in a low voice. Green Luo Poison. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.